If you are a beginner with zero experience or someone with some knowledge of using Microsoft Word and you want to upscale your skill set and take your document preparation and editing to the next level, then this course is for you. Hi, I am Dr. Rashid, a speech and presentation coach. I've used Microsoft Word over the last 20 years to write and edit academic and non-academic reports, journals, articles, and have written theses and dissertations. By the end of this course, you will learn the following basic skills in Microsoft Word: how to open a Microsoft Word document from a template, how to change the view options in Microsoft Word, how to change the page setup in Microsoft Word, how to insert and edit tables, how to add and deal with shapes, how to insert and use SmartArt, how to insert cover page, how to insert and deal with charts in Microsoft Word, how to insert header and footer, how to write simple and complex equations, how to add equation numbers, how to generate table of contents, how to generate list of figures automatically, how to generate list of tables automatically, how to add multiple columns in an article, how to add page numbers, how to insert page numbers and enable it to start from a specific page, how to change page colors, how to do find and replace words, symbols and numbers, how to use the Format Painter tool, how to create calendar in Microsoft Word, how to insert images and wrap them around texts, how to create certificates in Microsoft Word, how to add fonts, how to add watermarks, how to convert a Word document into a web page, how to add page borders, how to do mail merge to send multiple emails within Microsoft Word, how to link Excel data with Microsoft Word, how to use paragraphs and bulletin in MS Word, how to use free MS Word Online to design and edit your documents free of charge, how to create a restaurant bill, how to convert multiple Word documents into one, how to make circular texts, how to recover unsaved Word documents, how to reduce file sizes in Microsoft Word, and how to take screenshots in Microsoft Word. Feel free to use the timestamps accordingly to navigate to the sections that you are most interested in. Thank you for joining this course, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to open a Microsoft Word document from a template. Okay, so you can start from an existing Microsoft page that you've opened and you're working on, or you can start afresh by coming to your start menu and just type in Word over here, and you can see it over here, Microsoft Word. So once you click on it, it's going to open. But then you can come to File over here and you can start from afresh, which we have shown how to start from afresh. You can start from a bunch of templates over here. You can see from here, you can see more templates by just clicking on these. You can see a lot of templates, from numbers coloring book to invitation celebrations and all that, newsletters, newspaper, and other templates that you can open from. You can open from any of them and you can just kickstart your work easily. And then you have a bunch of other features also. You can start from business point of view. You can see business related templates that you can easily customize and use for your own liking. You can create even normal business cards and all that. You can easily customize and use it for yourself, so you can just print and share with your friends. Or you can come back, this is business, you can have cards, you can have flyers, you can have letters, you can have education related, you can have resumes and cover letters and holidays. You can design simple templates and flyers from this very template. So let's try to check flyers. You can see a bunch of them that you can easily use as posters for events and all that. You can all you need to do is just to click and select any of them, and then you can customize it to your liking. So for example, let's just pick one of them, and then you can see how you can customize just a simple way. So let's say we select this simple one, this summer party. So all you need to do is click on create, and it's going to open for you in a fresh Microsoft Word. You can see it's been formatted just like so, very easily. You can just, all you need is just to click on the text, double click on it, and you can check, you can just edit it accordingly. Okay, just edit. You can put mentorship, you can edit. Also, you can play around with the text properties. So you can just select it, and you have the option to change the coloration of the background or anything. You want to change the coloration of the background, or you want to change the coloration of the text accordingly. You can change it very easily and nicely. You can see coming out just like so. Okay, so you can do the same for the other features, and if you don't want, you can easily select and delete, and you can put whatever you want. Okay, so you're free to customize it to anything. You can customize this text as well, and if you want to bring in other shapes, you can bring it in, or you can play around with the layout options and the position of this very key shape. You can bring in other text, you can bring in other shapes and customize them accordingly. So you can customize the borders as well, okay, if you want. So to bring in other shapes, you can come to insert over here, and you can see different kind of shapes over here. So check out our video on how to bring in shapes and how to format shapes within Microsoft Word to have an understanding of what shapes are and how to bring them. But for now, let's just try to bring in a rectangle. You can just select and just put them over here, and you can just click. You can select, once you draw a shape, you can see the shape format coming out, and you have different kind of features, themes to choose from. Okay, you can choose from any of the themes, and you can just start writing immediately. Or you can choose from other things. These are presets, or you can choose other themes as well. You can choose from this theme, or from this one, or any one of them. Once you click, select a particular one, you can insert a text. You can come here, and still on the shape format, you can insert a text box. You can just click and just put in your text box, and you start writing immediately. So you can select and change the color. Right now it's not visible because of the coloration. You can still stay on the text features. You can see text direction, text alignment. You can see the text coloration over here, and once you select on any color, you can see it coming out. So thank you for subscribing. So basically, the whole idea is to show you how to start a Microsoft Word document from a template, which I have shown you. From the bunch of templates, you can easily see different kind of templates also if you so wish. Okay, come to new, and the one you've just worked on is this one. You can bring in any other one, or you can search accordingly, search from online templates if you have any idea. For example, you can say wedding, and for you to use this effectively, you must be online. Okay, so it's going to bring in edit something related to wedding, so you can just click and just customize it very easily. Okay, so you can just click on this, and you can see you have an idea of how this is going to be, and you can customize it to your liking. So very easily you can do that. You can search for anything. So once you're done editing and doing other things, you can always come to file, and you can always come to save as, and specify the direction where you want to save, and you just give it a name and just click on save to save your Microsoft Word document. Okay, so this is about how to kickstart a Microsoft Word from a template. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to enable the immersive reader view and other view formats within Microsoft Word. So all you need to do is to come to your Microsoft document, and you can come all the way to view options over here, and you have the different kind of options from here. You have the read mode, web layout, where you can convert these documents to a web. This is the print layout. This is what you have in the print layout. You can do focus view, which is part of the immersive view. Focus will enable any kind of distraction in the page, and you can see it. You can easily read directly without any distraction. Whenever you want to check out the other features, you can always come to these three dots. You just click, and you have your other features coming all the way. And one of the key features of this focus point is it has less radiation or less light radiation to your face or to your eyes while you are reading. You can always read, and once you're done, you click out, and you have full control of everything. And you can easily pin the whole thing from here. You can just click on this, and you can say show tabs only, or always show ribbon, or hide ribbon, hide quick access toolbar. You can hide it if you so wish. Once you are reading, you can continue to read, and once you want to go back to it, or you want to bring it, you can just come over Once you hover over to the top, you see it coming back to the normal thing, and you can easily pin it. Full screen mode, this is show tabs only. You can show tabs only if you want, and you can see it's a minimized show tab only, and then you can show other features as well if you want. So if you want to change it, you can always come to view over here, and you come to this arrow and say show full screen, and you can just see, once you're at the top here, you can see the full screen of everything, and you can continue to work like that. So another thing I want to share with us is the immersive reader. Immersive reader is very fantastic and interesting. Once you click on this from the view option, you can see you have the immersive reader. So this is how it changes everything. You can check the column width, you can increase it, make it very narrow, make it moderate and wide. You can change it if you want. So this is wide, okay, this is narrow, and you can see this is moderate. Moderate is big, and you can change it accordingly. You can change the page color. Okay, this is how you can navigate and change the page color accordingly until you have the one that fits exactly to what you want. You can change the line focus, you can make it none, or you can make it one line, in such a way that the whole idea is for the computer to focus on one line at a time. Okay, as you move, you're just going to be focusing on a given line, simple line at a time, one line at a time, and you can make it more than one line. Okay, you can make it 3 lines if you so wish. You can make it 3 lines at a given time. Make it just 3 lines. You can show a maximum of 3 lines, and you can make it 5 lines also if you want. You can keep increasing the width, the height accordingly as you so wish. So you can you can highlight syllables from A to Z. You can see it can just highlight it for you. You can disable this, and you can read aloud if you want. So you can come to the beginning, and you may have the computer read for you directly. So let's have it read aloud. You can pause it over here. Let's say we increase the size so you can hear it clearly. So let's start from the beginning.
Before you fill that PhD form, listen.
Okay, so you can check the settings over here, and you can increase the speed or decrease. You can change the voice selection, who reads, or you can have Microsoft Zira, you have Microsoft Mac, whichever one you want. Let's say we try Zira, and then we play it to hear.
Have you heard of the cause and effect rule?
And play around with the speed. If you want it to be a little bit slower, you can try it.
Before you begin any journey.
Yeah, so this is the immersive reader. You have read aloud. You can close the immersive reader at any given point by just click, right? So you can always come back. To these 3 dots. You click on it, and you can see you are back to the normal one. You can show quick access bar, and everything is now. You can come back, you can click on this, always show ribbon, and it's back to normal. So this is how to change the view, and you can change to other view options as well. You have side by side, which is very good for reading. Also, you can have your pages situated just like a book, and you can navigate from one page to another by just flipping, just like so. You can see how it flips very easily. You can read this side by side, and you can bring in ruler or grid lines view accordingly. You can put in the navigation pen so you can see where you are and where you are going to, and how much of the work you have done. You can make it in thumbnail view, where you can see a preview of all the pages that you have depending on what you have. Okay, so this is how to change the views to include focus view, immersive reader view, side by side view, grid line view, and everything. So depending on what your message, or depending on how easy you want your experience to be with Microsoft Word, feel free to try the view options and change it according to your message. One last thing that I want to show you is the ruler option. You can see the ruler over here. You can enable the ruler at the top and at the sides over here. You can enable or disable them if you want by just coming to the view button over here and come to ruler. You can enable or disable accordingly. You can use the ruler button to increase or decrease the page width and height accordingly by just coming over here and dragging and dropping accordingly, increasing or decreasing the page width and the bottom width accordingly. You can come to the bottom and do the same. You can increase or decrease the bottom width as well as the side. You can do the same. Okay, so you can play around with the sides, just coming to the sidebar, and you can increase or decrease the width accordingly. Okay, so feel free to try it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to change the page setup. So all you need to do is to open your Microsoft Word document, and you can come all the way. You can see everything now is in portrait. Okay, all the pages are in portrait. You can change it to landscape. You can change any page to landscape. So you can come all the way to the page that you want to change to landscape. You just click on, make sure you click on that page, and then you can come to layout over here, and you can come to orientation. You can click on this. Right now it's in portrait, so if you want to change this particular page to landscape, you just click on landscape, and you can see it's been changed to landscape, and all the others are in portrait. So whichever one you want to change, you can easily just come over there and just click on it, and you can change it from the orientation to either portrait or landscape. Okay, so you want to take it back to landscape portrait, you can just click and it's back to portrait and landscape accordingly. So you can change the paper sizing. Also, you can change it to letter. Okay, 21.9 for 1.59 by this is the letter type. This is tabloid tab. This is ledger. This is executive. This is A3 size. This is A4 size. Right now it's in A4. You can make it A5. You can make it note or envelope, or even make more paper sizes. You can put custom sizes over here. You can vary the width and height, and then you can easily preview what is going to happen, and you can apply this to this section or to this point forward, from a particular point forward, and to the whole document you can apply the same effect. So this is paper layout. This is the main layout. Okay, you can change and put in different kind of headers and footers, sizing and width. Okay, you can easily play around with them, and you can check the margins as well, the top margins, the bottom margins, and the left and right margins, and the gutter and gutter positions left. You can change easily from here. You can change your orientation to landscape or portrait accordingly from this section onwards or thereabout. So once you change, it will just appear in the text. So you have the last one, which is the margin. Okay, margin you can have normal. Right now it's in normal. You can make it narrow, just like so, with smaller margins, or you can make it moderate, or you can make it wide. You can make it wide, or you can change and make it mirrored. Okay, or any one of it. You can even make it custom margins. Okay, and you specify everything from here as well. So this is a bit about page setup, how you can set up your page while you are working in Microsoft Word, enable you to have a very good experience with your data and your document. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to insert a table within Microsoft Word and play around with it to edit it, to kind of format it to your liking, to have it in different kind of formats, and to arrange it to put in your data according to however you want it. We can do that with inserting table, and we can format it. We can even draw table in Microsoft Excel. So I'll show you all this in this tutorial. So to start with, all you need to do is to come to home ribbon over here and come to insert, but then you have to specify exactly where you want the table to be. So assuming I want it to come after this Latin, you just click out. I want it to be here. I want it positioned here. So all you need to do is come to insert, and you can see tables over here. So you can just click on this small drop down, and you specify how many columns and how many rows do you want. So assuming I want a 3 by 3 table, so 3 columns by 3 rows, you can see it over here, and once you click out, it's going to give you a table of 3 by 3. The first thing you need to notice is that the table design option, the table design tab, is already enabled once you create a table. So you have a bunch of options from here. So the borders, you have different kind of borders. You have top borders, you have different, you can play around with the borders accordingly, and as you move, you see the different kind of borders changing on your own. You can see them, all kind of borders are changing with the effects. You have border painter over here, and you have the line thickness. Maybe you may want the table lines to have different thickness. You can check around. You can just click select and then play around with these thicknesses. This is the border. If you want the border style to have different kind of text, you can play around with it as well. You have different border styles. If you want the coloration to change, you can easily play around with all this if you so wish. Okay, so you have shadings. You can play around with coloration if you want in the table. Okay, so for example, you can see the preview in the first cell, so you can just play around and put the color accordingly. You can check out more colors also from here, or you can say no color in cases when you want want to change your mind and delete the color. You don't want coloration. And then you have different table styles. From here you can see different table styles. You can format this table to different kind of style. You can see a bunch of styles from here. I usually prefer something like this, or sometimes you can go with things like this, depending on how you want it. This list of tables, some without border, you can go with this. If you so wish to go without border, these are with borders but different coloration. You can see a preview of the table, and then you can see it over here. So assuming we want to go with something like this blue color, and you can see it, we have the heading okay over here. So let's try to put in some text to beautify the table. So let's put in name, address, phone number. So you can see it. So this is the headings of the table. So you can put the name, the phone number, and the address. So let's say we put Sanibello, and we put the address Samaru Zaria, and we have the phone number, something like this. And then we can come to the next one and put maybe Awal Isa, and we'll put the name, the address, maybe Zaria City. I will put the number just like so, and we're free to change the text format. For example, you can do a lot of texting format, but right now we are on the table design. Check the first column. These are table styles options. You can bold this. The styling is going to be the header row. You see the way it made it bold. You can unbold it if you so wish, or you can bold the header if you so wish. You can bold the first column if you so wish, or you can leave it depending on your choice. You can unbold or bold. You can ban the rows if you so wish, or you can unban them. Okay, you can see them. You can ban the other rows and unban them accordingly. So depending on your choice, you can play around with the different features over here. So next is we have the layout over here. Also, you can play around with different kind of layouts. You can delete a particular table if you want by just coming here. You can delete the table, or you can click on it. You can delete a particular cell. You can delete a particular column. You can delete a particular row if you so wish, or you can delete the entire table. From this layout, you can insert row above. You can insert a given row above. You can insert row below. You can insert left. You can insert right. Once you are on a particular row, for example this one, you can insert something. You can insert a row above it or below it by just coming over here. You can insert above, and you can see you have just inserted, or you can insert below it. You can see below that particular one that's been inserted, or you can insert to the left. Okay, you can see we've just inserted some rows. The equal number of rows that we've selected can insert to the right of that particular selection or thereabout, or you can match cells. So for example, you can select a number of cells, maybe these 6 cells, and you can match them the same way. You can see them if you matched, or you can select a given cell and you can say you want to split the cells. You can split it into a number of cells. So for example, this one can split it into 4 columns and 1 row. So once you click on OK, it's going to split it into 4 columns. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you can merge them into 2 cells also if you want. Merge them to 1 cell, or you can split also to be 2 cells. Split them, select, split into 2 columns, 1 row. Okay, so you can bring them to 2 columns, which is the normal way you have them. So depending, you can play around with all this. You can do auto fit. Once you select the entire image, you can do auto fit to selection, or you can draw a table if you so wish from here. So you can draw any table. So maybe you have a given selection or a given number of rows that this normal automatic way will not give you, so you can easily draw just like so. You can click to draw a table, click on this, and you can click to draw your own table. You can see it has clicked. So maybe you have this column, maybe you have this much, and you have this much, and you see you've created this. So you can use this to create any table, any type of table that you want. For example, you may want to have something like this at the bottom, or just 1 cell at the bottom, or you have another cell located over here. So you can do that very easily. Or if once you're done, you can just come over and click on the draw icon out. Or if at any given point you would like to you want to increase the number of cells, you can do that. You can do that also by hovering over that particular cell. You can see 1 plus sign over here. You can click on it, and it's going to give you an added row. You can do the same also over here. You can do the same for the rows also. You can see from here Once you reach anywhere, you can see the plus sign. Once you click on plus, it's going to add a given row over here for you, and you're free to drag this row. The next thing I would like to show you is how to erase a particular cell. You can use the eraser tool over here. Once you click on it, you can erase anything. You can erase this one, you can erase this one, and make it according to your wish. You can erase these two. Okay, you can use the eraser very nicely to kind of format your table very easily. You can see, you can check the table properties, and you can always come back to the select option. Okay, you can select any given table, but once you're back, you can click on the eraser to get back to normal, and you can keep playing around with the text. Once you select the text, the table from this plus sign, you just right click. You can see a bunch of properties. You can delete the table also directly from here. You can insert columns to the left, to the right, to above or below the row, or insert cells accordingly, just like so. Or you can do auto fit to content, or auto fit to windows, or fixed width and columns. You can define that if you so wish. So these are very, very easy things that you can have access to. And once you select this particular table, also you have different kind of features coming on a line. You can insert different kind of thing. You can delete tables, you can put in comments, you can split cells, align center, or auto fit the table according to what we've just shown, to contents, to windows, or to given width. So once you're done, you can select on anything. If you want to highlight the table, the whole table, and cut it, maybe you can just click on this. You can cut it from here, and you maybe have a specific place. You can come over here and paste it directly, just like so. Okay, you can paste it easily. So this is just about inserting and editing tables. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert shapes into your Microsoft document. Okay, so you can insert any kind of shape and line or any kind of feature within your Microsoft document, depending on what kind of message you are trying to create. So the first thing you need to do is to start by specifying where exactly do you want the shape or the line or the icon to be within your document. So let's say we want it to be at this position. Let's give it this position. We want it to be at this position, so you can just come all the way straight to insert over here at the top of the ribbon, and you can come to shapes over here. You can see shapes, and you can click on this small drop down. You can see quite a number of them. Recently used shapes, these are the ones that you recently used, I recently used. And these are lines, different kind of lines, from the normal line without the arrowhead to the basic shapes with the arrowhead both sides. Okay, double arrowhead, and these are several ones. Connector, curved connectors, you can easily use each and every one of them to showcase your ideas or your concept. And then we have basic shapes. Okay, you can have them from text box, you can have text box, you can have rectangle, you can have different kind of shapes from here depending on your choice. You have block arrows of your choice. You can use them to signify or to illustrate any kind of concept. You can easily show your ideas using these block arrows. You have flow charts of different kind of operations that you want to put in your flow chart. You can easily use them and use the connectors along the way as well. And you have call outs in cases when you have humans or thereabout that you want to use call out to showcase a given message to your audience. You can easily use call outs very easily. And then you have stars and banners. You want to blow out a message to show that it's something big, something to point out to your audience. You can easily use all this. And you can have a new drawing canvas where you can draw on your own depending on what message you have. So let's try to use one or two of them, and then let's see the properties that it brings along with. For example, let's say we go with basic shapes. We can try to draw a simple rectangle by just clicking on it and just coming anywhere within the document and just clicking and dragging to have your rectangle. So the first thing you will notice once you finish drawing your rectangle is that you have the shape format activated. Once you have it, once you finish drawing, you're going to see it activated. Or once you finish drawing, you click out. You can still have this enabled by double clicking on the shape that you have drawn, and you can see all the properties have just appeared again. So the first thing you need to look at to the left is, at the top left, is you have the option to insert different styles. Again, if you want, you can click and be brought back to the same feature. You can insert different styles, and you have the text box over here. You equally have it over here. You can insert the same thing. You can play around with the shape styles. Can see different kind of styles. If you want double line style or colored style, maybe with yellow color or with gradient color, or you have this kind of style, you can check according to your message or what kind of message you are trying to create or to send to your audience. Or you want the one that has some shades behind, you can see them with different kind of shades. So let's say we go with one of them, and then you want to put in some. Once you click and add this particular style, you're free to play around with the features as well. From here you can change the shape fill from this color to different color if you want. You can see, right, you can play around with the shape fill, and you can play around with the shape outline as well. Okay, so the outline can take a different coloration if you want. You can see it depending on what message you want to send. Okay, so let's say we have it at red, and you can change the shape as well. You can change it to different shape. Once you click, you can move around and change it to according to your message, according to your liking. So the next thing that we want to put in to make this kind of have some meaning is to bring in some text box. So you just click on text box among the shapes. You just insert a text box over here, and you're free to kind of open it a little bit, and then you can type something. So let's say we type something like welcome to Epic Mentorship, and we can select it, and you can make it a little bit bigger so that it comes out. Let's correct the spelling. So you can see once you double click on it, the shape format also comes out, but this time around it's the text box format. You have the option to play around with the text box format. You can make it in a very simple way like this. You can see as you hover over it, you can see the definition of what is coming out. You can use any kind of format according to your choice, according to the kind of message that you want to use. And you can have fill colors as well, depending. So you can just move around until you see the one that perfectly fits to what you want to put. Then you can just enable it. So let's say we go with this white, and I think it kind of looks cool. Then the text feature also, you can play around with it. You can check this fill over here, or you can change the text feature. You can do that from here as well. You can change the text direction. Once you click, you can change it. You can play around top, bottom as you so wish, and you can change the coloration of the text as you have selected. You can come back to home, and you can change the text coloration to any color of your choice. So you can see as you hover over it, you can change the color and maybe make it something like red. We can bold it, and we can make it a little bit bigger so that it fits the whole space. You can increase the size also from here, and we can centralize it as well using this paragraphing option, and you can see it now visible. So we can come back to it by double clicking, and you have the option to change the shadow effect over here of the text. You can make it have of the text box. You can make it have a shadow, drop shadow. You can see drop shadow by the side. Okay, you can see different kind of drop shadows, and then you can have it to be of this type also, different kind of perspective shadow, or you have additional shadow styles that you can play around with, or you can have coloration added to the shadows. Okay, you can put shadow color accordingly. As you navigate over it, you'll be able to see the changes in what kind of shadow you put. And then you can make it 3D. Okay, you can play around with the 3D effect, and you can see it's now 3D. Okay, you can see 3D effect. You can see it of different types as you hover over it. You can see the 3D effect over here. You can see the 3D coloration. You can play around with the color as you so wish, and then you can check the depth of it. You can play around with the depth and the direction also. You can change the direction, the lighting. You're free to change the lighting accordingly. Let's say we'll go something like this. It is 3D and lighting. You can see it. You can play around with the directions of it over here. 3D effects. You can check and put, and then you can play around. You can rotate it to different angles accordingly. You can play around with the positions. This is in line with text. This is wrapping around the text. You are free to explore the positions of this particular shape. You can put it around a shape. You can put it in line. You can put it behind a text. You can put it in front of text, depending on your choice. And you can always bring forward or take it backward, depending on where the position you see fit for it. And this is text, wrap text. This is similar with this text position. You just specify whether you want it tight with the text, through the text, behind the text, or in front of the text. You can specify all that from here by mere selecting it. And then you can check the alignment over here. You can align left, align right, align center accordingly. You can do that as well. And then you can rotate. Check the rotation option over here, and you can play around with the height and width of it manually. You can play around and execute it over here. So once you're done with the shape, you can just click out, and you have your shape just like so. And if you want to change anything later on, all you need to do is just double click it, and the text feature and the shape features will come out, and you're free to change anything. So one key important thing that I want to show you in the shape feature when you're coming to insert a shape is when you try to draw a circle. At the moment when you click out, you want to draw a circle, it's going to give you something like oval. But then when you want to draw a perfect circle, then you have to press the shift key and click the circle, then hold down the shift key and draw it. Then it's going to give you a perfect circle. If you want to get a perfect circle, you have to hold the shift key, and the others are almost nearly the same. You can put in anything, and once you click the shape, the circle, you can play around with the shape outline, the shape fill. You can play around with the outline. Down here you have the no fill if you don't want it to have fill, or you can bring in different color to the fill, or you can bring in different weight to the line. Right now it's set to 1/4 point. You can make it thicker, you can make it thinner if you so wish. Okay, you can make it thicker, and then you can play around with the coloration as well of the line. Okay, so you can make it dashed line also if you want. You can see it's dashed line. You can see different kind of dashed lines depending on what kind of message you have, and then you can change the pattern, and then you can put the coloration accordingly. You can see as you hover over it, the color is changing. So it all boils down to what kind of message you're trying to send and what kind of information you want to send. But then you are free to play around with any of them. You can use the arrows, okay, very easily. You can play around with it, and you can change the outline. You can change the thickness also and make it thicker. Try flowchart. You can try flowchart. Maybe you want to draw a rectangle, then you might draw a connector to it. You can draw a connector to the rectangle. You can draw a connector to a point, and from this point you draw another rectangle, or you draw a decision point or something like that. For example, from here you might decide to draw a decision point, something like this. All right, and then you might want to connect this with this. You can use your keyboard also, the left arrow, to move it around, and you can connect it very easily. So you can see. Now if you want to type in here, you can double click and type, or you can put the text box and type, or you right click it if you want to put in text, and you just click on add text, and you are free to add text. Maybe this is step 1, right? You can select it, and you can center it, and you can align it to the center, and then you can come over here, right click and say add text, and then you can decide. So execute. Here you may have some options, yes or no. If it is yes, it goes this way, or no, it goes this way. So depending. So what we are trying to say in a very simple way is that these shapes are very nice, and you can use them anywhere. You can use the call out as well, depending on what kind of message you have. When you want to add a text, you can start adding your text over here very easily. So once you're done, so one last thing that I want to show us is, after you draw your flowchart or shape or what kind of size you've drawn, you are free to group and ungroup any kind of shape that you have drawn. So assuming we want to draw a simple chart and group it, so you need to come to insert, come to shapes, and then maybe you draw this. You draw a simple line, okay, and then we draw with a simple arrow. We just connect and draw. Okay, you can play around with it, and then maybe we have at this point we have small shape over here, and then we can just try to connect this. We can use the arrow key to connect them, and we can hold down, we can select them to group. We can select the first one, select the second one, select the second one, and then select the last one, and just right click and come to group and say group, and the whole thing now is one, and the whole thing now is one. You can move them at the same time if you want. And if you want to ungroup, all you need to do is to come over here and right click and say ungroup again, and everything is now separate. This is how to group and ungroup. You can also use this small arrow to rotate the shape if you want. This small green line, this small green dot, you can see it shows the rotation sign. You can use it to rotate the shape accordingly, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending on what you want. Okay, so this is about using shapes in Microsoft Excel. Feel free to try it, to experience it, and to draw whatever thing you want to draw, and see how you can understand and build and use it the best way possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to insert and use SmartArt in Microsoft Word. Okay, SmartArt is a very cool and easy feature that had been introduced by Microsoft Word to make our work look much more professional and easy. So to start with, all you need to do is to specify exactly where you want to insert the SmartArt and what kind of SmartArt do you want to insert. For example, hierarchy or something that has comparison between two objects or thereabout. So you come to insert over here from the top ribbon. Okay, you can see SmartArt over here. It's a very quick and easy way to access. So this is all. You have different kind of arts that you can easily see. You can select on anyone and you can see the properties over here, what it does and how you can use it. Okay, so these are circle type. So this used to represent a continuing sequence of stages, tasks or events in a circular flow. You can emphasize the arrows or flow rather than stages or steps. Works best with level 1 text only, so depending on what you have. So you have a bunch of them. You can have different types. You can see this one, you can see this one. This is vertical chevron list. You can just arrange the list accordingly and you can have them separated also like this. You can have them displayed like this, or you can have them displayed like this in some equations or in some papers. You can see, and you have hierarchy if you want to do organizational chart or you want to put in some information accordingly. You can put in a number of them. You can have matrix if you want to bring in different kind of matrix. You can, depending on what kind of information that you have, you can easily navigate accordingly. These are pictures. You can bring in different pictures and format them accordingly. You have office.com. You can put in different kind of messages depending on what you have at hand and what you want to create, or what method or what information you want to convey to your followers or listeners. Okay, so this is all, or you can go specifically to list. Okay, these are list content. All these content list. When you want to list items in a very professional way, you can use this. You have process. If you want to showcase process from step 1 to step 10, or from step 1 to step 2, what happens in stage 1, stage 2, step 3, you can use this. If you want to use circle, you can use it very easily to showcase what you have, just like we've explained. If you want to use hierarchy, you can use to develop organizational chart, relationships between objects, 1 or 2 objects, you can do that. Matrix, pyramid, picture, and other office.com, you can check from here. Okay, so let's say we want to go with process and we want to take in this very simple icon and we want to use it. You can just click on it and say okay, and it's going to bring it in just like so. You can now customize it to your liking. So the first thing you need to pay attention to is, once you click on a given selection of what SmartArt, the first thing is you notice at the top here you have the SmartArt design icon activated. Once you select that, you can see it activated and you have SmartArt styles of different types. You can just click on this. You can select any art, any style. Maybe let's say we can go with this, or you can go with different ones depending on how you want your message to go. Okay, you can just customize accordingly. You can go with this if you want, or you can go with this if you want, depending on the design. There are a bunch of cool designs that you can easily access. So you can go with something like this. I think it kind of looks fantastic and cool, and you can change your themes from here. These are color palettes that you can use to define your own style. So you can just come over here. Let's try to kind of minimize it so that you can see the effect as we navigate around. These are color palettes that enable you to kind of use it to customize your selection. These are different kind of coloration. If you want green to come out or thereabout, you can choose, and I think this combination can kind of looks fantastic to me. Let's go with this combination, and you can select this. You can change the layout accordingly at any given point if you want. If you decide to change it, you can change it, and you have the option to move up and down. You can right to left. You can move any selection from right to left or from up to down, so depending on your choice. So you can start writing immediately. You can write inside or you can write outside. So the text are 3. The first is inside this circle and there are other 2 outside the circle. So you can start typing immediately. Okay, so let's say write something like introduction. You can see it, and then you have 2 things under the introduction. Maybe you can have general and you can have maybe aim or thereabout, and then you can come to the second one. You can see this is moving to the next box. So you can have maybe method, and then you can have general, and maybe you have the laboratory methods. You can add another text if you want. You can add just like so, and you can come down to that particular selection and you have field data or thereabout. You can put them as many as you want. Then you can come to the third one and you can just write conclusion, and maybe you can put overall conclusion, and then you can have also maybe specific conclusion. So you can add also if you want. You can add also if you want maybe future work or thereabout. So you can have it so easily arranged and beautifully arranged just like so. And if you want, you can add other bullets from here, or you can add a text pen from here, or you can promote or bring in or demote any kind of feature from up or down or thereabout. If you want, you can add others as well. You can select and add a shape. Okay, you can add a shape and you can see you've added a shape, and then you can proceed. Once you add the shape, you can see it now it's empty. You can start writing. This is the circle, so you can put in maybe results, and then you can add bullet from here, and you can see it's now forming as a sub. So you just start writing, maybe for example general result, and then you can hit on enter and add another result, maybe laboratory result, and then you can have field results or thereabout. So you can easily arrange them easily. Let's say we don't want this, and you can just click out and we have it. Once you're done, you're free to click out, or you can check or change the arrangement accordingly depending on what you want, or you can change the color feature or selection accordingly if you so wish. And once you're done, you just click out and you have it to your liking. You can easily click and you can select here and you can move it around to anywhere of your choice, and you can change the layout options as well. Just like we've explained in the picture format, you can play around. You can put it in front of text, you can wrap it around the text, or using different kind of features from here. So you can easily select. If you want to bring back the SmartArt menu, you can just double click and it will come back, and you can have the format menu over here and you change everything also accordingly if you so wish. So this is about SmartArt. You can do that with a bunch of different things. You can just select and you can change the styles. If at any given point you decide to change the styles, and you can see you've changed it to something simple, or you can change it to something like this. You can see the arrangement, or you can change it to something like this. Once you have finished with the arrangement, you can see very easily you've transferred it to something much better. You can easily just arrange it accordingly. You can use it to something like this if you so wish. You can change it to this, or you can change it to any feature of your choice. For example, you can make it this if you so wish. I think this kind of looks fantastic as well. You can define it to any form, any format, any shape, any feature that you feel like can send in the message in a much better way with your text. This is about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert page cover or cover page in Microsoft Word. Maybe you've typed your report or you've typed your thesis and you want to put some cover page to it to make it look much more professional and interesting. You can easily add that by just coming to the top of the page. Okay, wherever you have it, the beginning of the page, you can come over there, and then you can come to the home tab ribbon over here. Just come to insert, and you can see cover page over here. So you just click on the small arrow and you can see different kind of cover pages that you can easily add, and it will make some meaning to your cover page, to your document. You can see them, even the ones including some images that you can add easily. You can see them. You can just select any one of them. Let's say we'll go with this one, and you can see it made it a cover page, and it simply moved the entire thing to the next page. This is your cover page. You can put in the name, the title, the document title. For example, we can just put maybe, so you can have subtitle over here. So you can put the date over here to make it look somehow interesting, 25th. All right, so you can see it, and it automatically picked my name. Okay, you can put in company name if you want. Right, so you can see it just picked my name, and it has these little stripes around to make it look better. So this is how to add page cover page you can add more. You can come over here and check out for more. You can see a bunch of them, and you can check out for more from Microsoft Office, from office.com. You can see quite a number of them. Maybe you can add this one instead of that one. You can easily replace with this. You can see it kind of looks okay. Even the date and time and the course title, you can come over here. You can change the imaging if you want, and then you can remove a cover page at any given point. So once you hit on remove, it removes it very easily, and you can put in any other one that you like. Maybe you go with this. Okay, you can easily replace the picture if you want. All you need to do is just to select the picture, right click on it and say change picture, get from a file, from stock images, from online resources, or from icon. You can put in anything. So let's say from this file, and you can just navigate to anywhere you have some images that you want to replace with. For example, I may want to replace with this image. Once you click, it comes in and you put in all the other details and you have it as your cover page. Okay, so this is how to insert cover page to your document. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert and play with charts in your Microsoft Word document. You can insert it from Microsoft Word and it will behave as if you're working in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so Excel is usually the default platform where you can play around with charts, but you can integrate it also from Microsoft Word. You can insert different kind of charts. All you need to do is to specify where exactly you want that chart to be. So assuming I want it to be here, you can just hit to give the space, and I want it to start from here, and you can just come to insert over here and you can see charts over here. So you just click on chart and you can see all charts from here. You can see column charts, you can see line charts, and you can see a bunch of them. Okay, from here, once you navigate across any of them, you can see a preview of what kind of chart it's going to give you depending on what kind of message you have. You can click on this, you can see pie chart of different types. So depending on what you have, you can see bar charts, you can see area charts, you can see XY scattered, you can see line graph, okay, two lines, single lines, and all that. You can see bubbles, okay, you can see maps, you can see stocks charts, you can see surface chart and radar and trim up, sunburst, you can see histogram and all that. So depending on what kind of message, you can easily bring it in and you can customize them to your message and liking accordingly. So let's say we go with the column chart, okay, and you just select the first one, you just select it and you can just double click and say okay, and it's going to insert this and bring in the platform from Microsoft Excel and link it up to Microsoft Excel, and you can edit accordingly. So the first thing you will notice that once you select a particular type of chart, you can see the chart design option coming out, which means you have the chart styles from here. You can select from this bunch of styles. You can change easily to this type of style, or you can click on the drop down to see many more styles that you can walk around with easily. You can change the colors. These are color palettes that you can play around with easily. As you hover over them, you can see the graphs are changing, the charts are changing to different types. Okay, so you can select anyone. Let's say we go with something like this, and you can play around with the other features as well. You can change the style to something much better like this, and if you can feel free to come into the chart and change it. So maybe you can make this first quarter, second, and you can have the third quarter. And as you are changing the quarters, you can see it is changing the effect, it's taking the effect. So you have different categories. So let's say we have this as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you can see it changing or taking effect in the graph, Thursday, and so on. And you're free to add maybe Friday with its value. So you can have maybe 4.2, and you can have this to be 3.0, and you can have this to be 5.8, and you can see everything is changing, and it brought in Friday over here and the values as well. So if you want to add, you're free to go on and add, but if you don't want, you can leave it. So you can just minimize it to 4, so you can see it to 5, you can see the 5, and now you can click out and continue with your editing. So you can change the chart title from here by just double clicking it. Okay, you can change it and make it clean up this title, and you can leave it like this. and you're free to select it, and you can play around with the position through the text. Along the text, you can make it in front of text or in line with text. Right now we can leave it at in line with text. You can come to this plus sign and you're free to select what you want to show on the graph. Either you want to show the axis or you don't want to show. You can show axis title if you want. You can show them over here, so you can double click to define them. Okay, once you double click and select, you can make it maybe days, and over here you can make it days of the week, and this one we can make it category. Right, so you can easily select it and make it. And once you select the graph again, you can change the data labels. Okay, you can bring in the labels just like so. You can bring in data value within the table. You can put in arrow values. You can put in grid lines and enable or disable. You have the legends as well at the bottom over here, showing the legends and trend lines if you want. You can include the trend lines also if you want. And you can come over here and include you can change the different types of graphing to something like this or to something like this, which I think I prefer. Okay, so you can sort the graph by these values. Okay, you can show or unshow accordingly, and you can play around with other format grid lines over here and lines, the different lines, the transparency, the width, and the type of line in terms of the borders and all. And you can check out the coloration. We've shown the coloration. You can change the quick layout to show some things and disable some things from here. You can navigate around, add chart elements such as axis and data labels, data table, and arrow bars, grid lines, legends, and all that. You can enable everything from here, and you can come all the way down here to switch rows and columns so that you can have the data behave differently. You can switch the rows and columns just like so. You can select a given data and change it, or you can edit a particular data just like so. You can change the chart type also by just coming here and clicking. You can see you can play around with all this. So once you finish everything and you're certain with this, you can always click out and everything is going back to normal. You can even close this out and everything, it goes back to normal, and you have this chart added to your Microsoft Word. At any given point you want to change this or you want to make some edits, you can always double click and it's going to come back and you can proceed with your editing. You can select the data or you can edit data, and it's going to bring in the Excel sheet, and you can edit accordingly from here, and it will take effect on this. One last thing I want to show us is from the chart design, you can have the format design as well, where you can also play around with the different kind of themes and lines. You can insert lines, you can play around with positions, you can play around with the word art style over here as well, according to what you have in the content over here. So this is about how to bring in charts in your Microsoft Word and manipulate it and play around with the concept and elements in the chart. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert header and footer. So for you to start, you just open your Microsoft Word document and you have some text inside and you want to format it to have headers and footers. So all you need to do is to start by coming to the home tab over here, come to insert over here, and you can just see header over here and you can see footer over here. So just click on header and you can see different kind of headers, from the normal blank header to the blank 3 columns header. You can see them with 3 columns. You can have Austin style or the banded style header, and we have this other one also, facet, even page. Or you can check out more headers from here, or you can edit a given header. You can check out more headers. You can see them over here. You can remove a given header if you so wish. At any given point that you want to remove header from a text or from a Microsoft Word document, you can always remove the header from here directly. So let's say we are inserting a very simple blank header just by clicking on this, and it inserts it. So all you need to do is to start typing over here whatever you want to type. So for example, write a big mentorship over here. So once you finish typing, you can always click out, double click outside, and you have this faded text as your header. Okay, you can see it reflecting everywhere on the pages. You can see it over here, so you don't need to write it consistently in different kind of page. Once you start writing, it's going to take over on all the pages. If you want to avoid having it on all the pages, then you have to do page breakup, and you have to insert a page break, which I will show you later on in this tutorial, in this short course on how to insert page break, and you can separate the properties from the rest of the pages. But for now, this is how to insert a header in any kind of text document. If you want to edit the header, all you need to do is to come back to the top and double click, and you're going to come back to the editing format, and you can write anything you want, or a big mentorship channel or something like that. So once you double click outside, it's going to make it normal. Or if you want to remove it at all, you can still come to insert, come to the header option over here, and just click on remove header, and it's going to remove the header. Once you click on remove, it has removed on all the pages. So next is we would like to insert a footer. Okay, now this is header, we want to insert a footer, and the same way you come to insert over here, and you come to the same place. Instead of header, you come to footer, and you can click, and you can see a bunch of them. You can have the blank one, or you have the 3-columned one, and you have the Austin or banded style, just like so, and more other styles also from here. So you're free to select from anyone. Let's say we select the blank one, and you have it as the footer. You just write anything, just like we have written before. Welcome to Epic Mentorship, for example. So once you click out, it behaves in the same way the others behave. So you can have it everywhere on all the pages. You will see it as a footer. If you want to separate also, you have to insert a page break, but then same way you can edit if you want by just double clicking inside. And if you finish with the editing, you double click outside. Or if you want to remove, you can come over to insert again, come to footer, and then come to remove footer, and it just removes it just like that. So this is how to insert header and footer for this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to use the Microsoft Word equation editor to write some equations as an example, from the simplest one to a little bit of the hardest one. I cannot say it's hard because it's very easy. Once you understand the concept, you can easily write all these equations on your own. So let's say we are starting with this, which is quite simple, and then we'll go with the second one, and then the third one, and then we can go to the fourth one, okay, as examples. All right, so the first thing to do is to make sure you're on your Microsoft Word document opened. Okay, create a file, and then we can start with the first one. So let's create another tab just to give a space, and then all you need to do is to start by coming to the top ribbons over here and click on insert, and you can come to equation over here. So this is going to be done using the inbuilt equation editor from Microsoft Word. Okay, so you click on equation, and you can see the equation, the editor just kick started. So there are a bunch of things that you can pay attention to. For example, you have a bunch of list of symbols that you can easily reach out to and use it. This is the basic math. When you click on this drop down, you have option to check on Greek letters, letter-like symbols, operators, arrows, and negated relations, scripts, and geometry. You can easily bring in different kind of symbols from this list. For example, Greek letters, if you have them, you can see lowercase, you can see uppercase if you ever need any of them. Or you can have arrows where necessary in terms of the equation. Or you can have scripts where necessary, you can just check them accordingly. So but for now, we just stay with basic math because what we are dealing with is purely mathematics. And then you have structures over here, from fractions. You can see a bunch of different kind of fractions, to scripts, to exponential equations, you can see them, to radicals, and to integrals. You can all have access to all of these depending on what kind of equation you want to write, what kind of expression you want to write, what does it involve as an operator within that equation. And we have large operators, you have the summations and all that, products and co-products, unions and intersections depending on what you have. And we have different kind of brackets over here, different kind of brackets with separators, single brackets, and we have sign functions. Within the geometric or trigonometry, you can easily bring in these trigonometric functions, inverse functions, hyperbolic functions, and you have accents as well. So you have the accents, boxed formulas, and overbars and underbars, and something like that. Limits and logs are also here, okay, depending common functions and functions. You have different kind of operators, basic operators, depending on what kind of function or what kind of equation you're trying to create. And you have different types of matrix. you can easily bring in matrix of 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, depending on what kind of matrix you want to bring in. You have e-convert, you have current and professional converts over here, and down here you have latex expressions, and you have equations directly that you can easily have access to on your own, which are inbuilt. Okay, these are binomial theorems, area of circle, expansion of a sum, and Fourier series, and something like that. All these equations are inbuilt, and you can easily access them for examples and they are about, right? So but for this case, let's say we've clicked on the equation and we have the equation editor over here, so we just click on it. Okay, so the first thing is we notice that there is an absolute value at the extreme ends of the equation, so we can come to brackets over here and put the absolute value just like so, and then we can come inside and write the equation. So what we have is 6 squared divided by 2, so you can come to scripts, okay, because it's a simple script, it's a superscript, so you click on it, and then we can come in and say 6 squared, then we can come to normal, and then we can come to divide by 2. We can put division, or you can come over to the symbol sign and put division, then divide by 2, and then you can have 2 brackets with 3 or 2 times 3, and then you can have lastly plus 4. Okay, so you can just close the bracket and you have plus 4. Okay, so this completes the first equation, and it's very easy to write. Once you click out, you have your equation, so you can easily select it. So the next is the second equation, which is a quadratic equation. So we can just write it: x equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So the first thing is to come to the insert again and come to equations, and we start writing immediately. So x is equal to, you can put the equal sign from your keyboard, or you can put it from here. You can see the equal sign over here. Okay, it's equal to, now this is a big fraction with small letters, the numerator and the denominator, so we have to put in a big fraction. Okay, so we'll come to the fraction over here, we'll put the first fraction, okay, which is quite big, and then we can go to the numerator. All right, you can come to the numerator and we write minus b, right, plus, now square root of b squared minus 4ac. We can come to, right, so we have square root of, so click and you can see a simple square root over here. We just click on it, we'll come back, and then it's going to be b squared, so it's a superscript, so we'll come to script and we can take in superscript, so we'll go back and put b, and then come and put squared from the keyboard, and then we can come to normal, and then we can have minus 4ac. Okay, 4ac just like so from your keyboard, and then we can come to the denominator and put divide by 2a, and then that completes the equation. Okay, you can see it very nicely. You can equally select it and make it a little bit bigger if you so wish. You can see this is the equation. Next is we have the third equation. This is getting a little bit interesting. So the next thing is we come to still the same insert, we come to equation, and then we can start writing immediately. So this is a subscript, okay, xk equal to 1 over n summation from n equals to 0 to n equals to minus 1 of xn exponential, all these functions. So we can just start with the script, but then this time around it's a subscript, and we can just go back and type xk. This is a big X, so capital X, and we come down and say write our small k, and we go back to normal by putting clicking or pressing on the arrow sign to the right, and then we put on equal to, then we have our fraction. Okay, so we come to normal fraction. This is 1 over n, so we can come back, click here, 1 divide by n, capital N, and then we can come to normal, and then this is going to be summation from n equals to 0 to minus 1. So we come to sum, this is large operator, so we can put it. Now we have summation and we have limits. Okay, so this is normal summation, then this is one that has limits, so we click on this because we have limits, and then we have the other components of the expression, so we click on this, and then we can write. Okay, so from n equals to 0 to the topmost value, which is n equal to minus 1 to n minus 1, and then we can write the rest of the expression, which is now a subscript also, xn. So we'll click on this and we can write small letter x and then we go to the other box on right hand, and then we can put in our exponential, but then this is e raised to the power of all these gadgets. So we can come over and put in a script, but superscript. So we'll go back the power of I 2 pi k 2 pi we can get it from here. This is a basic math, so we can see pi over here, you can see it over here, 2 pi k n, and then k, then we have another fraction, n over n. Okay, so we have fraction, which is a normal fraction, and then we can just write small letter n by capital letter n, and this concludes the equation very easily. And you can select everything and you can make it bigger to have a clear understanding of how the equation is going to look like. So I think this kind of makes it interesting, and it depicts everything as it is in the equation. Next, we write the last one, which is this complex. So all you need to do is to start by writing equal to this fraction, and then this integral sign with the limits, and then this exponential sign with the subscript, and then this ds. So all we need to do is to come to same insert and come to equation, and then we can put equal sign and do that from the keyboard as well. Then we put a fraction, 1 divided by 2 pi. We put in fraction, so put in 1 divided by 2 square root of 2 pi. So we come to square root, normal square root, and then we have 2, then we have pi. We can get pi from the basic math like we just taken pi. Okay, then we'll come to normal, and then we'll put the integral sign, but then this time with a limit. Okay, so we'll come to integral over here, and we can see integral with limits and other expressions. The limits are at the top, so we take this. So we can put the limit first. You can click to put the limits, and the limits now is a fraction, negative square root of x divided by 0.3. So all we need to do is to put the first negative first. Once we put negative, then we are going to put in the fraction. All right, so this is the fraction, so we have it square root of x. We come to square root, we take square root, and then we have it square root of x divided by 0.3. And then we finish with the bottom one. Then we go to the top limit. Now we have square root of x divided by 0.3. Again, we can copy this if you wish. You can copy this if you wish. You can say Ctrl C, and then you can paste it over there. Once you come here, you can paste, and you can see it to square root of x by 0.3, or you can type again using the same process. Then you can write the rest of the equation, which is e raised to the power of all this. So it's going to be, we have to put in a script, an exponential script. So we put in e, small letter e, then raised to the power this fraction, but then we have to put the negative sign first, then we put the fraction. It's a normal fraction. Okay, so we'll go back. At the top of it, we have another exponential, which is another superscript. So we are going to put in s squared. Okay, s squared divided by 2. Okay, and then we'll go back to the normal mode, and then we'll put ds. Okay, this is an integral sign. Okay, so ds, we are integrating with respect to s. So I think this concludes the equation. You can see it, you just click out, you can select it and make it bigger so that it looks exactly like the one that we have. Okay, you can see it. So this is basically how to write simple equations using the equation editor in Microsoft Word. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to insert equation numbers within your document. So for example, I'm writing a paper, for example, a piece of paper or maybe a journal paper that you have the chapters well written. This is the preliminary pages, the list of content, list of figures and table of content, and I have the chapters equally distributed in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 and chapter 4 up to chapter 5. All right, with the content, and I have some few equations inside and I need to work on them, and I need to put equation numbers as well on each of the equations. So for example, this the first equation in chapter 1, I wanted to have equation 1 attached at the end of it. So usually what I do, there is a workaround that I always follow to attach or to insert equation numbers and to make them sequential as you move within your document. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to come over to insert here and insert a table, usually 3 cells. Okay, you can insert 3 cells, 3 by 1 table. You can just click on OK, and you can adjust these 3 lines. So we have the centered one as the big cell. Okay, so this one is bigger, and over here you have smaller ones. All right, so you can come over here and put in 2 brackets where you want your numberings to appear, and usually I want them to appear with the 3 dots at the end. Okay, so at the end you have 3 dots, then equation 1, 3 dots, then equation 2, 3 dots, then equation 3. So you come back to the middle of this parenthesis or the brackets, and then you can come all the way to insert again, and you can come to this quick path. Okay, at the top here, explore quick paths, and you click on the drop down. You can come to fields. Okay, you select on fields, and you can come all the way to field names until you get to sequence. Okay, when you get to sequence, you can select it, and you can just make it sequence. Maybe you can make it equation, sequential equation, and you click on OK. Okay, once you click on OK, you can see it has given it number 1. This is page 1, or this is equation 1, for example. So this is page 1, and it's going to be in sequence. Okay, so over here you want to insert equation, so you can come all the way back to insert again, and you can insert equation over here. So your equation is going to be here. Okay, you can always type your equations here. You can always select the table, and you can centralize the details, everything. You make sure they are centered. Okay, you have everything at centered. You can come over here and just make sure the content is centered. So while the table is selected, you may want to remove the border, so it can appear as if it's not a table. So you can come over here and say no border at all. So you can see you only have equation here, and then the equation number. So you can still select and make this a quick path, so you can easily access it, and you can always insert it within your document. So for example, once you select it, you select this one, you can come all the way to insert also, and you can come to quick path, and you can come all the way to save selection to quick path gallery. So you can save this selection, and you can give it a name. So let's call it equation. We'll say okay, and it has saved this. So wherever you want to add another equation from here, so for example, we want to add another equation at this point, all you need to do is to come to insert, and you come to this quick part, and you can see it over here. So it's called equation. So you can see it here. You just click on equation, and it's going to add it for you here, and you can see the sequence is increasing. Now this is equation 2. All right, so let's say we want to put in this equation. So all you need to do is to select all this equation and cut it, and then you can paste it in here. You can just paste it in here, and you can see it has equation 1. All right, so you can do the same if you want to insert another equation. For example, you can come over and you can insert this binomial equation, and you can see it has taken it as equation 2. Alternatively, you may want to add the third equation. Okay, so this equation is the third equation. You want to add it and give it a number, so you can insert the equation table first. So you can come all the way insert, and then you can come over here, come to equation, and you can see the table is there. So you cut this one, and then you can paste it over here, and you can see equation 3 is just there. So you have equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. So what happens when you want to insert an equation before these equations? Let's see whether it's going to update or not, because right now we have inserted an equation, and the serial number seems to be correct for all. But let's say we want to insert an equation before these written ones, at the middle between 1 and 2, and let's see whether it's going to update or not. So we can come to insert, and we come to quick part, and we can just add this equation, and you can see it over here. So okay, so now we've inserted, and we can see it's not updated. So for you to update it and have it sequentially continuously, you can select the whole document with Ctrl A and just right click anywhere and see update field. Okay, and you can see it has just updated everything. Okay, so this is equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, and you can put equation let's say we want to put a simple equation equals to pi r squared. and you can see it everything. So you can put in as many equations as you want, and it will update it as soon as you select everything and click on update everything, and it's going to update. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to make table of content in Microsoft Word document. So for example, when you have your project written in chapter 1 to 5, or you have your paper written in chapter 1 to 5, I mean your journal paper or your conference paper written in Microsoft Word from chapter 1 to chapter 5, and you want to insert table of content automatically. Now, one of the key benefits of inserting table of content automatic within your document is that when you are working continuously, you don't need to keep on taking on the data and page number and updating it manually. It's going to be updated accordingly or automatically as you work within the document. So it's a very good feature that Microsoft Word incorporates. If you know how to use it, it will save you quite a lot of time. So in this case, we have our paper written chapter 1. We can see chapter 1, and we can see subtitle, which is overview, and we have aim and objective. This is chapter 2, literature review, general overview, and customer satisfaction, all the way to chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5, conclusion and recommendation. Okay, so don't worry about the content. It's just a made up content. It's just a haphazard content I copied from somewhere, but just to show you how to use it efficiently so that you can have one of the best experience with it. So the first step and the most simple step is to insert or to add paid heading style on each of the headers. So let's say, for example, this chapter 1 is introduction. We'll make it header 1. Okay, so one of the key benefits is you can make all the chapters header 1. Sub chapters can be header 2, header 2, header 2. So chapter 1 could be header 1, and this sub chapter could be header 2. So you select it and put header 2. Okay, header 2. And we can come to the second one, aim and objective, and we'll make it also header 2, right? And then down here we have chapter 2, which could be a header 1. Okay, header 1, you can see the size and everything. You can see chapter 2 can be a header 2. This customer satisfaction and general overview can be a header 2. This customer satisfaction, we can make it header 2 also. Okay, so you can do the same for all. Chapter 3, this one can be header 1. Okay, general overview can be header 2. Data collection can be header 2 as well. It's a subtitle. Okay, and chapter 4 can be header 1. You see the extraction can be header 2. And maybe we can have clear adoption as header 3. Let's just have it as header 3. And we can have chapter 5 as header 1 as well. Right, conclusion as header 2, and recommendation as header 2 as well. Right, so this is just our document. Just formatted it, we've inserted the styles. So this becomes very easy to insert table of content and very easy to manipulate this document. Okay, so to insert a table of content, all you need to do is to come to the point where you want to insert that table of content. Assuming you want to put it at the beginning of the document, so let's just hit enter twice to put it over here at the beginning. So we can come to references. Okay, so we can come to table of content, and we just click, and we have a bunch of table of contents that we can insert from. Right, so notice that we can insert the first one or the second one, table 2. Okay, automatic table 1, automatic table 2. So but the difference is that this one is just contents, this one is table of contents, but there's no much difference as regards the content, maybe except 1 or 2 things that we may not have seen. And the other one is a manual assign. You can assign it manually if you want. Okay, or you can remove if you don't want. So but for this case, for this tutorial, we're going to go with the second option, which is table of content. And once we hit on this, notice that we just have our table of content immediately assigned. Okay, you can see it assigned, and with all the table of content, you can see heading 1 and subheadings, heading 2 and subheadings, header 1, header 2, header 1, header 2, header 2, and everything. Okay, so you can see the way it is arranged, and accordingly with the pagination as well. So this is how to actually bring in table of content. So in cases when we tamper with the document, we added one or two things. Of course, quite a lot of things are going to change. So let's say we move this chapter 1 to a fresh page, so that we can reserve this to be to the table of content to be on a fresh page also. So let's say our chapter 1 starts here instead of the way we have it on page 1. So you can see now that it's not updated. Right now it's on page 2. It's not updated. So all you need to do is to come back and click on the table of content and say update table, and you will be popped up with the question to update page numbers only or update entire page. So for this case, we just want you to update page numbers only. So we select page numbers only and we click on OK, and you can see it has just updated our first page, introduction, to page 2 because we moved it to page 2. So you can do the same. So for example, when we add another chapter at the bottom of this, maybe we'll add references and we'll put in some 1 or 2 references at the bottom. Okay, so let's say we have these 3 references and we want to add this to our document. So let's say we select this and we make it a header 1. So we'll come back to the main home page and we'll click on header 1. We make these references a header 1. We can always go back here and we'll see that we'll notice that it is not updated yet. Okay, it has not updated the table of content. So all you need to do is to still come back and click on the table of content and we'll come to say update table, but this time around we can say update entire table because we want it to update part of the content that we just added. Okay, so we just click on OK and you can see it has added our references, which is on page 4, and it shows that it is on page 4. So this is the first part, to have it arranged like this. In some cases, in some styles, like in my school, what we used to have is all the chapters. We have to have chapter 1 and chapter 2 as the sub chapters should carry maybe this is chapter 1, the next one should be 1.1 overview, 1.2 aim and objective, chapter 2 2.1, and something like that. So if you want to have something like that as your table of content, so you can save, maybe all you need to do is to come over to the home tab and come to this multi-level list. Okay, if you want to enable the multi-level, because people used to have a lot of problem with this, so you just click on this and you can check on the different multi-level. So usually you can go with this or you can come with this. So header 1 is going to take in 1, header 2 is going to be 1.1, 2.1, 3.1 or thereabout. So you just hit on this and it's going to update the whole thing automatically. Okay, so you can see it over here. So right now we can see our tables, and you can see we have the multi-levels enabled. So you have chapter 1 is chapter 1, and this is 1.1, 1.2. So 2 is chapter 2, and 2.1, 2.2, and 2.2 is chapter 2, multi-level 2. Okay, level 2. So we can have chapter 3 and so on. Okay, so what I used to do actually, because in my own style, in my own school style, we don't need to see these two at the beginning, or this one at the beginning of all the chapters. So what I usually do is I select the numbers, okay, and I quickly change their color, okay, because I don't want to see them. I just want to see chapter 2, and then I want to see the continuation 2.1, 2.2. So what I used to do, I leave it as it is, but then I change the coloration of the text. Okay, so you can come over here and make it white, and that 2 is gone. Okay, so you can have chapter 2 and you have 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. The same way chapter 3, you have 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So you're free to do it on all the chapters. Chapter 4 the same. Okay, so even references, you will not see that it has the 5 over here. All right, so feel free to try it. And right now we can come back to our table. You can see it's not updated, so you can just select it and update table, and this time around we update the entire table, not just the page numbers only. So you update the entire table and you can see it has taken everything. Okay, so you can see it has updated everything, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5, and everything is inside and intact as we have it. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to insert the list of figures within your document. So if you're writing your paper, or you're writing your thesis, or you're writing your report, and you want to insert the list of figures, you can easily do that with these simple methods in this tutorial. Okay, so pay attention and you can see how you can insert your list of figures. Assuming we have this document in chapter 1 to 5 and we have figures, we can have figure 1, we have figure 2, and we have figure 3. Maybe we have only 3 figures in this 5-page document. Okay, and we want to insert the list of figures containing all this. So all you need to do is to start by coming to each figure. For example, this one, we right click it and we can say insert caption, and we can put the caption from here. So let's say we call it figure 1 data steps. Okay, so you specify the location. This is a figure, and is it a figure or an equation or a table? Okay, so it's a figure, and what position do you want to put it? Is it below the selected item? Yes, usually in my own school the standard is below the selected item, so we'll go with below. In cases when the acceptable format in your school is above the selected item, you can always come back and select the above selected item, but for now we'll go with below. But at this time we can just say this is correct, figure 1 data collection, and we can say okay, and you can see it, figure 1 data collection, and it's below the item. Okay, so you can come to figure 2, also do the same. You right click, you can say insert caption, and you can just put your column, and then you can put maybe hierarchy of organization, right? And once you're done, you specify it's a figure and it's below, so you can just say okay, and it makes it automatic figure 2 hierarchy of organization. Okay, so you can come to chapter 2 figure 3 and you just right click, you can say insert caption as well, and you can put it as data collection steps. Okay, so once you satisfy with this, you can click on OK, and you can have it inserted. Okay, so this figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. So at this time, after inserting the captions correctly, you want to put in the list of figures from here. At this point, after table of content, maybe you want to put in the list of figures at this point. So all you need to do is to come to references, and you can come to insert table of figures. Okay, so you could just click on this and you can say insert table of figures. You can decide to show page numbers. So this is if you tick on this, it's going to show page numbers. So this is a highlight print preview of what is going to show. Figure 1, the text that comes after it, and then page number. Okay, figure 2, the text that comes after it, and then the page number. So this is highlight of what you are going to see, and this is the web version of what you are going to see. Okay, in cases when you want to use hyperlinks. Okay, so right align page numbers, you can align them to the right if you want, and you can say tab header, you can use these dots. Okay, or you select this dash or this one, whichever one you want, you can select. And over here you can say the caption should be from template, the caption should be figure or equation or table. So for now we are going with figure, and it's include label and number. Okay, so label and number, figure 1, text, and then number. So once you're satisfied with this, you can click on OK, and it's going to insert it for you correctly like this. So figure 1 data steps is in page 2. You can just put it over here, list of figures. Okay, so list of figures, and you can have it over here to yourself. Figure 1, this is it, and this is the page number. Figure 2, this is it, and this is the page number. Figure 3, this is it, and this is the page number. So this is applicable to no matter how many figures you have within the document. You can always do that, and you make sure that you arrange it accordingly. You insert the captions accordingly, and you can just come over here with just a simple click. It's going to insert everything. So assuming you update the list of tables, you can try it. Let's see. So assuming we insert more figures within the document, so let's see what happens. So let's say in chapter 3 we add one more document in results. All right, so let's say we come to insert and we insert a picture. All right, so let's say we add this as a result. Okay, so we can minimize it a little and have it centered. Okay, so let's say we add this. So let's select, we can right click and we come to insert caption, and we can make it figure 4, and then we can put it results of Libre. So we can say okay. Once we are satisfied with everything, we say okay. We can come all the way up here and check whether it has updated, and you can see it has not updated. It has not updated list of figures, so we have to come back to the references always, and we can come to this one and say update table. Okay, over here once we click on update table, we can say update entire table, because because we have included something that includes page number as well as a table. Okay, so we say update entire table, and we click on OK, and you can see it has updated it, and we have figure 4 results of Libre, and it's on page 5. So basically this is how to insert list of figures, and this is how to update it in cases when you have added some document or some figures within the document, or you have shift, or you put in more text and the page number also shift to another page. You can always come over here and update the table, and everything is going to be updated, including the table of content. Everything is going to be updated. All right. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover how to generate the list of tables automatically in Microsoft Word. So assuming I have my table of content, I have my list of figures, and I want to have my list of tables over here from this document. Okay, we can have chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, and we have tables. We have tables distributed within the document. So we have the first table, we have the second table, and we have the third table, and we want to have a list of them so that they can be automated and they can be updated anytime we bring in a new table. We can easily update it directly in the document, so we don't have to consistently be writing the table title as well as table page number and stuff like that. All these will be captured automatically. Okay, so to do that, all you need to do is to start by coming to each table and giving it a caption. So for example, we come to the first table over here. We can just come to the extreme end and we can see this plus sign. Okay, once we activate the table, we come to the extreme end over here. We just right click on it and we can come to insert caption, and we can see it is taking figure 2 for example, but this is not a figure, this is a table. So we can come over here and change it to a table. Okay, so you can see it has taken table 1. Let's say this is financial implication, okay, for example. So, and usually tables used to come above, the position used to be above selected item. So once you are setting with the content, the caption, you specify table and you specify above selected item. In cases in some schools you have the table caption to be below the selected item. You can do that by just clicking on this arrow and selecting the below item. But for this tutorial and for my school, we'll go with above selected item. Okay, so once you said okay, it's going to insert this caption to this document at the top of the table. Okay, so but we can centralize it to make it on top of the table and centered. So we could go to the next table and do the same. So we select this arrow, this plus sign, we right click on it and we come to insert caption, and we can put, this is now table 2 automatic. Okay, it has detected it that this is table 2, so we can say loss and gain data. All right, so you can see everything correct, and we just click on OK, and we can centralize this as well to come to the center. Next is we go to the last one. So we just right click, this time around we can come to insert caption, and we can say table 3, and we can select it and say feature data. So these are just values or descriptions I give. They have nothing to do with the table at all. Okay, so this is it. So once we click on OK, you can see it given at the center. Right, so right now we have labeled all, or we have inserted caption on all our tables within this very document. So we can come all the way at the top over here where we want to add the list of tables. We will just give it list of tables over here, and we can say we want it to be at this point. Okay, so all you need to do is to come to references, and you can come all the way to insert tables of figures. So you click on this, and you can see right now it's set to, the caption level is set to table, so you can see it. So this is table 1, this is it, table 2, this is it, table 3, this is it. So once you're certain, you can just come over here and say okay. You can say okay, and you can see it has inserted the list of tables. So table 1, financial implication, this is the page number. Table 2, financial implication, loss and gain data, this is the page number. Table 3 the same way, you can just bold this. Okay, so this is list of figures, this is list of tables. You can see it's automated. So what happens in cases when you add a given table within the document, and let's see what happens. Okay, so maybe at this point when we try to add a table. At this point in the document, we try to insert a table. Okay, so we can insert a table, let's say this much table. Okay, and we can just put in the content. Okay, so let's say we have this table and we can insert the caption. We can insert the caption and we'll give it a name. This is table 3 because it's before the other one, so we can give it a name, raw data of schools, for example, and we say okay. So because this comes before the table 3, you can see automatically it has been labeled table 3 and this is table 4, right? So we can check out the list of table that we've generated, whether it has taken this one or not, right? So we can come back to the list of table and we can see it has not taken it. So all you need to do to make sure it is updated is to come back to the same references and go to the list of table over here. You just make sure you select the table. Okay, and you can come over here and say update table. Okay, so update the entire table, not just the page number, right? So you click on OK and you can see the page table 3 has been inserted with the page number in the same way. Okay, so you can come down here and see, you can see table 3 and you can see the description and you can see it over here. All right, so in whichever case, if you add more documents or you add more text and the page numberings vary or they change, you can always come over and update it from here. You can update the table and it's going to update automatically within the document. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert multiple columns within your Microsoft Word document. This can come very handy when you are writing literature or some articles for journal publication or conference proceedings. You may be required as part of the requirements to provide 2-column article or 3-column article, depending on what kind of conference or what kind of journal you are publishing at. Okay, so for you to enable that and to enable the 2 columns or 3 columns, all you need to do is to make sure you select that particular part of the text that you want to convert. Okay, select it and then you can come to the top ribbon and come to layout. Once you come to layout, you can come to the columns over here. You just click on column. So this is 1 column, which is the existing one. You can make it 2 columns or 3 columns or left columned or right columned or more columns. From here you can specify the number of columns. So let's say 2 columns and you can see everything had been transformed to 2 columns. So you can see after this you move to this, and in some cases you have to kind of bring it to the front so that you can have it arranged fully. So you can take this down to the next page and you can just simply rearrange and you have it in 2 columns. So you can make it 3 columns also if you want. You can select the entire text and just come over and make it 3 columns and you can see it's now 3 columns. So you can bring down, select the word art and just bring it down, or you can take it to the next page for ease of arrangement. Okay, so you can take it to the next page, or you can just try to minimize it so that it saves space. You can see it and you have it in 3 columns, depending on what kind of requirement is your publication company requiring you to publish. So you can provide, the whole idea is for you to just come over to the columns over here and you can just easily change it to 2 or 3 columns or even multiple columns by just coming over here to the number of columns, more columns. You can just click on more columns and you can see 1, 2, 3, left, right, and you can specify a number of columns. From here you can make it 4 and you can see the preview over here. You can change the column width and spacing, each and every one of them. You can see that here, and you can apply to select text section or to the whole document if you so wish. Once you're done, you click on OK and you have everything formatted to those number of columns that you've specified. So this line in between, you can specify how many lines you want in between, and you just there's a line in between each column. So you can see the preview over here, whether you want to have a line in between or not. Okay, in between the columns, you can make it 3 column and you can have line in between, and once you hit on OK, and you can see the lines coming in between the columns. So in a nutshell, this is how to add different columns, multiple columns to your Word document. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In today's video, I want to share with you how to add page numbers to your given Word document. Assuming we have this as our Word document and we want to add a page number to it. This is some simple annual report that is gotten from the sample templates on Microsoft Word. So assume you want to add a page number to this to make it kind of look professional and all. So the first thing we need to do is to come to the page or come to the document. We want to add the page numbers, and you can just click at any point within the document, and you can come to insert over here, and you can come all the way down to page number over here. So you click on this and you can see a range of options. First, you can put the page number at the top, which you can see a sample over here. You can put it at the top just like that. Okay, plain number. Okay, this is plain number 2. This is different location at the center. This is at the top right, yeah. And this is page numbering that you have in terms of the page 1, page 2, page 3 in Word. Okay, and it's at the top. You can put it, this is accent bar, which is at the top right. Yeah, top right. And you have multiple or other numbering formats that you can check and you can select them accordingly. Over here you can have the page numbers from office.com if you have subscription, or if you have access to microsoftoffice.com, you can easily go there and then you can have other features, other newly updated page numbering styles. So down here you have at the top if you want at the top, you have at the bottom if you want at the bottom. Same arrangement from top to right, top, center, bottom left, bottom center, and bottom right. And you have the page margins as well. Okay, so you can put it at the margins. You can put different kind of margins over here, border left, border right, and large left, and so on. And you have the current position. You can maintain the current position as it is. This page 1, page 2, page 3. This arrangement can also be a choice. You can also format the page number. You can have different kind of page, and at the end, if you are not so comfortable, you can remove page numbers. So this is just a very easy way to put. So let's say we are putting it at the bottom center, bottom of page, and we can select anyone. So let's say we select this one, and you can see it over here. You just double click within the document and you have it. This is page 1, and this is page 2, and this is page 3, continuously just like that. In today's video, I want to share with you how to insert your page number and have it start on a specific page. I've recently done a video on how to add a page number to Microsoft Word, but then the default settings is once you select add page number from here, from the insert menu, you come to page numbers. If you select on the type of page numbering that you want, for example, we'll go with the bottom page number. Once you click on this, it's going to take in the page numbering directly from the beginning of the page. So maybe page 1, page 2, page 3, starting from the beginning and all. And some people are not so comfortable with having the page numbering starting at the beginning. So maybe there can be some pages, maybe this is the introductory page, this is the table of content, and these pages don't need to be numbered. So we want the numbering to start at page 3. So what we need to do is to come over to the page where we want the numbering to start, and we just click on it, and then we just come to the layout over here. Then we come to breaks, we just click on this, and then we select on this next page. Okay, so this is going to insert a section break and start the new section on the next page. So we just click on this, and we can see it has separated our document, the introductory page as well as the table of content with just a blank page, and then starting the normal page on this. What we need to do is to come to insert over here, and we come all the way to page numbers, and we can insert the page numbering type that we want. For example, I want my own to be at the bottom of the page. We click on this and we select the bottom of the page. Unfortunately, right now you can see it's starting at page 4. So all you need to do next is to come to the page numbering over here. You click on it, you come to format page numbers, and you can say start at page 1. Start at 1. And this is the numbering style that you want, 1, 2, 3. You can change that. You can reformat it to Roman numerals or different kind of numbering, page numbering styles accordingly. And once I'm done starting at 1, I click on OK, and you can see it starts at page 1. The next thing you need to do is this link to previous is what it means is the numbering is linked to the previous pages, so you can just click to uncheck it, so which means they are not linked at this moment. So you can come down over here and just delete, click on the previous ones and delete. Okay, you can see everything is now deleted without page numbering, and then you can hit out to see your page numbers. So let's have a preview of it. So you can see page 1, page 2, the page the table of content has no page numbers, even this empty page has no page numbers, and you can see it starts on page 1. Okay, this is page 1, page 2, page 3 and page 4 and all that. You can see continuously to the end. So you can have a preview of it also. Maybe let's have a preview, a print preview of it. So this is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, starting from the first page. Okay, so you can see it over here. So this is basically how to start your page numbering on a fresh number on a specific page, and then continuously to the end. In today's video, I want to share with you how to change the page color of your Microsoft Word document. This is a very simple feature that I believe a lot of people have finding it quite difficult to do. In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to do it. So to get to Word, all you need to do is to come to the start menu here and click on Word. So you search for Microsoft Word, you can see it over here, and you can check for anything, any sample page. Okay, so let's look through the template. Okay, so assuming we check on, let's say it's a very simple manual report that we want to just change the page, the page color. Okay, so all you need to do is and you can come all the way to design over here, and you can come all the way, move all the way down to page color. You can see it over here, and you can click to have an understanding of what kind of color you want. Okay, you can make it to this black, or you can make it this color, and you can change it to any of these color as well. And you can come over here, you can change it. So this is how to change it. So let's say we are taking on this, and you can see all the pages take on yellow color, and I think it kind of looks cool. So if you want to change it to another color, you are free to come over here and you can change it directly. Or you want to put more no color at all, you want to bring it back to the default color, which is white, you can also come here and change it. Or if you want more colors, you can check from here and you can put custom colors. You can customize to your liking. Okay, you can put custom colors, you can put the details over here. Or if you have the hex color, the hex code, you can put it over here also, so to depict the exact color from here. So once you're done, you click on OK, and you can check in the list. You can see the ones you just added. You can enable it accordingly. Then there are other fill effects that you can see once you click on this. So you can make it to look one color, or you can make it gradient color. This is one color, you can make it two colors. For example, you select the second color if you want to put in something like this, and it's going to look like this, somehow gradient. So you're free to maybe take this, and you can see it has changed accordingly. All right, so you can also make it preset. Okay, you come to fill effects, and you can also set it to preset colors. There are some available ones that you can check. Maybe this is the preset ones. So you're free to check on the variants. Okay, this is horizontal. You can make it vertical, and you can make it diagonal as well, and you can make it diagonal down as well, or from corner and all that. So once you click on OK, it's going to kind of look different. So you're free to try all these, try on your own. Just put in Microsoft Word and try to change the background and see the effect it gets. If you're satisfied with it, then that should be your color. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the simplest way to change the page color, and even put in gradient colors and many more colors. In today's video, I want to share with you how to change the page color on different pages, how to have different colors on different Word pages. I made a video recently about how to change the page color in Microsoft Word, and by default, when you attempt to change the page coloration, for example, you come to design over here and you can come to page color. When you change the page coloration, the color takes effect on all the pages. As you can see, it takes effect on all of the pages. But then I was requested to make another video on how to make the pages on different coloration. So there's a way to make it different coloration, and you have to have a workaround, and I will just share with you in this video. So all you need to do is to come to the home, the insert menu over here, the insert tab over here, and then you come to the shapes over here and just click on this rectangle, and you just drag, click and draw a rectangle. Right, you can resize it to fit in the entire page, right, just like that. And then you can double click to copy this and paste it, and you can drag to the next page. Make sure you cover everything. Then you can copy and paste as well and move it to the next page. You can make sure you cover everything. All right, just like that. And then next you select the coloration you want on each page. So for example, you double click on this one and you can see the format just appeared, and you can come to shape fill over here, and once you select it, let's say we put in this color, and you can see it. Let's just resize it a bit to fit in the content. So you can see it. Let's say we make this yellow. So all you need to do is to right click and come to wrap text, and you say behind text. Once you send this behind the text, you can see how clear it is and the page takes that color. You can do the same for the others. For example, on this, let's resize it a bit. You right click, okay, you double click to come to the format menu, and then you can come to shape field. You just put a different color. Let's say we put in this color. You right click, you come to wrap text, and you can send it behind the text, and you can see it very clearly. And lastly, we can have this one. You double click to have the format. You do the same thing. You come to the shape field, and then you can change the coloration to something like green, and you just right click, you come to wrap text, and you can say behind the text, and you can see it gives us 3 different coloration on our pages, okay, which is different from the subsequent pages. So this is how to actually change the page color, on add a different color on each of the page. In this video, I want to share with you how to use the review icon to edit your Microsoft Word document, to insert comments for your students, and to make some changes and track the changes as you are editing the document, so that your students can easily have access to it. They can easily view the changes that you've made to this particular document, and they have the option to either accept or reject it accordingly. So they can review and see whether they should accept or reject. Or if you are working collaboratively with your colleagues, you can easily edit, and your editing can be tracked within Microsoft Word document. So it all happens in the review tab. So to start with, just open your document, and then you come to the review tab over here. Once you are on the review tab, you have the comment section where you can input any comment. For example, you can highlight this very sad or part of the article and just come over here and just click on new article. So now I'm commenting as Abdul Rashid, and I just wanted to ask him to bold this part. So you can use Control and Enter to post, and you can see it has just entered. This is a sign that there is a comment over here, and you can check it as you wish. Okay, and I'm free to edit this if you want to add more. Bold this part and italize. So once you're done, you hit on OK, and you have these 3 dots where you can delete a particular comment if you want. So anybody, once it gets to the other person, he will notice by mere looking at the changing on the coloration that there is a comment over here, and once he clicks on the comment, he will see the full comments from this side, right? And he can reply as well. You can click to reply as a person, as this person reading it, he can reply. So that means we can collaboratively work on this same document together. Okay, so you can put in more comments by selecting and just inserting more comments. You can say remove, and maybe you can say delete previous comment, or you can go to previous comment and you are now at the previous, or you can go to the next comment and you are at the next comment. So you can show all comments if you want, or you can list all of them at the same time. So another thing is you can track your commenting or your editing in Microsoft Word using the track changes. So you can just hit on this and it's going to track all the changes. You can see it's now enabled, and it's going to track all the changes that you made to this document. So assuming I don't want him to use this, I want him to delete all this. So once I select, I press delete, you can see it struck it. So it's now left for him. When I send him this document, he's going to see that I don't want him to use this part, and if he accept or reject, he's going to automatically remove this part from the document. So let's say we highlighted this place and we said you should delete all this. Okay, you can see it has struck everything, and maybe I wanted him to add some literature from here. So let's say you can research. Okay, so these are additions that I have made, including this spacing. It will show that I have added all this, and once I finish the editing, once I finish adding everything, all my comments, and it gets to him, to the second person or the second colleague or to my students, he has the option to accept or reject. So once he is at this correction, he can accept and it will delete everything, or he can reject. For example, once he's here, you can reject and it will automatically remove this striking. You can see it. So he can come over here also, he can accept or reject. Okay, you can go to the previous or go to the next one. He can decide to reject, and it will go back to normal, and he can decide to accept this one as well, and it will stay as a written comment or as a written input to the document. So if you accept, it now becomes everything to normal, that this should be part of the article. So this is actually basically how to add in comments, how to track changes, and can show up all the comments from here, and can show all markups and reviewing pane from as you move from one comment to another, or as you collaborate and move from one comment to another, or one conversation to another within your particular document. You can work collaboratively, and you'll be able to see the replies as you are calling on each and every one of them to make comments. So this is how to use the comments and tracking options in Microsoft Word. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to use the find and replace icon to locate given words or given any kind of sentence within a particular document, Word document. As you are working, you can easily find words, you can find numbers, you can find figures also, and you can find symbols within your document. So all you need to do is to start by coming to your Microsoft Word document and opening it, and you can see from the top ribbon you have the find option over here at the top right. You can find option, you can see the find option. You can also reach there by using the Control F to find, and just hit the Control F and you just enable the find. You can see the replace option, so you can find and replace. So you click on this and then you can click on find. So you just search for any word. Okay, so you just search maybe epic, you can see it. All right, so you can see epic, this is the first one. So you can go to, this is the locations where we have something like that written in the document, and you can see it marked yellow. You can use these icons to move to the next one. This is where you have the second one, and this is where you have the third one. Okay, this is first, this is second, and then this is third. So you can replace this by any given word of your choice. Okay, so after the finding epic, you found it, and then you can replace. You can come all the way to this small arrow, you just click on it and you can come to replace, and it will bring the entire find and replace dialog over here. So you find epic and replace it with main. Okay, so you just say replace one or replace all. So you can replace one, and you can see it's replaced that particular one at the top. You can replace again, it replaces all. So we've reached the end of the document, so there is none over here. So do you want to continue searching from the beginning? No way, because everything has been replaced. You can see the first one has been replaced to main from epic, and you can see the second one as well has been replaced with main from epic. Okay, so you just see the first one replaced, and the second one also had been replaced, main mentorship. So this is basically how to use the find and replace icon. You can find and replace. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to show you how to use the Format Painter option in Microsoft Word, which is a very quick tool that you can use easily to format your text to different formats. So for example, assuming I have this text in a particular format, For example, I have it with the background color and I change the text color to maybe red, and text color to red, and maybe I bold it and then I italize it along the way and I underline it along the way. So this text has a particular definition. All these things, I don't need to repeat the same process to bold it, to italize it, to change the background color again using this. But there's a very cool feature, very cool tool that you can use to actually copy the properties from this long text and just transfer it with just a simple click. And that tool is called the format painter. So all you need to do is to select the text that you want to copy the properties from anywhere in that text. For example, we can copy from here. We can just select from this very text, and then we can come to the format painter. Just stay on the home ribbon, and then you can come to format painter over here. Just click on the format tool, and then you can select to as many of the text that you want to convert. So for example, I want to convert from here to the end of the line. Okay, so from here, once I release, you can see it has just done the magic. It has converted everything to that particular format that I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the format painter tool, very effective and very useful. So let's have another example, very simple one. So let's say here I formatted it to something else. Okay, so I formatted this to this type of text, and maybe I increase the size to something much bigger or thereabout. And I want to copy this exact same, and maybe I underline the whole thing, and I want to copy the exact same property from this and put it on this same one line, okay, or on this same simple line. Okay, so all I need to do is just select any part of it, come to the format painter, select it, and then we can select any portion of our text that we want to convert. So for example, I want to convert just this portion of the text, and once I release, you can see it's converted to that particular style with all the properties that it contains. So this is a bit about how to use the format painter tool to transform or to change or copy and paste text properties from one text to another. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to generate a calendar for your office, for your faculty, for your university, or for any kind of event, or for your own personal office, for your own personal use. Okay, so you may want to have a calendar where you have the list of events that you can print and hang it on the wall for the year or for the month, that you can always keep looking and then have yourself work accordingly with that calendar. So it's very easy to create a calendar in Microsoft Word. So let's try to make it and see how easy it is. So all you need to do is to start by opening your Microsoft Word. I've just opened mine, and then you can start by coming to file over here. You can come to new, and you can see a bunch of templates down here. Okay, you can see a lot of templates that you can actually use. So you can see this is a banner calendar. This is an example of a calendar. This is another one. It's an example of a calendar. But then a lot of these calendars are actually online. They are stored online. So for you to use them, you have to install them. So that means you have to be online to be able to access each and every one of these templates. But in case if you cannot find the type of calendar you are looking out for on this within this template, you can always come over to the search bar over here and just search calendar. You can just search for calendar, and you can see a bunch of them that you can use on your own. You can see so many of them. You can just search around, you can check around to see a number of them that you can easily use to customize to your liking. And depending, do you want the whole year or you want a particular month? If you want a particular month, this banner calendar is good for that. All right, or you can go with this modern calendar. Okay, you can go with this, or if you want the complete year, you can take on this. For example, we can take on this, or you can take on this one. So let's say we'll go with this, and you can see that it gives you a preview of how that calendar is going to look. And to the right, you can see other samples of other calendars that you can try to look. Okay, you can see so much of them, but then I have selected the first one, and you can see their respective sizes over here in cases where you want to download it to your computer. So you can click on create once you are certain this is the type of calendar you are looking out for. And you can see it has just created ours. So it's all boils down to you. You can put in the year, but the default is that it captures the year we are in directly. So it's taking it to 2022, and you can see the months from January to December. and you're free to bring in different kind of features that you want to beautify this very calendar. All right, so you can bring in your company logo and insert it over here. You can bring in different kind of things that you feel like it's going to be quite relevant to you, and you can paste them over here. You can put in some text as regards the entire calendar. Okay, you can maybe put in your company logo, or you put in something about your company. For example, you can come to insert and you come to the text box over here, and you can try to draw a text box and write something about your company. So for example, I write something like Epic Mentorship, and we can try to bold it with Control A, and we can bold, we can increase the sizing. Right, you can come over here and increase the sizing and make it a little bit bigger, and we can resize the box, and we can bold it also to kind of look fit with the other uniform with the other 2022 calendar. Okay, so you put Epic Mentorship. You can decide to change the coloration also if you want. Maybe you can use your brand coloration, right? And you can remove this borders if you want, because it doesn't look good. So you can come, just double click it, step outline, you come to say no outline, and you can see it is gone. All right, so you can bring in other details also that you want. So you can just easily customize it to your liking. You can bring in pictures. You just click on insert, you go to pictures. You can say from this device or from a stock of images, or you can bring in pictures even from an online source. So let's say we are inserting from stock images. We can check on any that can portray our company. For example, something simple that we can easily use to portray our company. Let's say we go with this, something like this, and just bring it in. We have to increase the size. The first thing is we have to put it in front of the text. Okay, so we'll put it in front of the text, and we can resize it. We can bring it in, and we can go down and keep it at the bottom. So you can see it over here, and we can reduce the sizing as far as we want and keep it over here to make the calendar kind of looks complete. So this is in a nutshell how to bring in how to make a calendar and how to customize it to your liking. For example, this one we can double click also to come to kickstart the picture format, and we can decide to play around with it. So for example, we can make it something like this, and I think it kind of looks much more professional and good. All right, so this is our calendar. If you are done using the editing the calendar, and you are certain this is the type, this is the font, this is the brand you want to showcase to your company, all you need to do is to come to file over here, and you can do save, or you can do save as, and you can specify the location where you want to save it, and you can specify the format. For example, we are going with PDF, and you can specify which location. For example, I'm going with the desktop. You give it a name. You can call it Epic Mentorship Calendar 2022, and then you can save, and it's going to save this in PDF format for you, so you can always have it as your calendar. You can see it completely filled. All right, you can print it and share with your company mates. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the bit on how to design calendar within Microsoft Word, and you can export it for your use in your office or with your colleagues. You can share it with your company members or thereabout. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert images within Microsoft Word text and wrap it around the text so that it looks professional and fantastic. We'll basically go through how to insert the bring in images, and then see how we can format them alongside with the text, or in front of text, or behind text, or even sometimes wrapped around text. So let's start by bringing in an image. So we can come to insert over here, and we can insert pictures directly from stock images. If you want, you can just click on insert from stock images, and let's say we are inserting this picture, and maybe we can go with this picture and probably this one. So we are taking 3 pictures and we are bringing them in just like so. So let's say we brought in these 3 pictures and we have resized them. We've just resized them. Let's bring in the last one. Let's say we bring in these 3 pictures and we have just resized them. So all you need to do is to make sure that we insert them within this text, and I want the first one to come after this. Okay, so all I need to do is to select it, maybe cut it and then we can come over here at this point, we can hit on enter, and then we can paste it over here, and you can see this is in line with the text. Okay, this is in line with the text. You can select the image, and you can see this small layout option. Once you click on it, you have the different options. For example, you can do align with text. Right now it's set to align with text. You can have other with text wrapping. Okay, so you have the square, which you can have the image wrapped around the text in a square format, and we have tight, and we have through, we have top and bottom separated like this, and we have behind the picture, or we have in front of the picture. So let's try each and every one of them and see how the picture is going to behave. So let's say wrapped around the square. So once we click on this, it's going to wrap it around a square, and you can see the image. This is how we used to have it, maybe in some papers or maybe in some magazines. You can have the text written around text, the image wrapped around the text, just like so. You can select it again and change the format. Now we can have it in tight format. You can have tight format somewhere nearly the same with the wrapped, and we can have through. Okay, you can have through as well if you have it in different format, and you can have it top and bottom. So you have it just like a line. You can select again, and you can have it through, which you have the text now overlaying you can change that and put it in front, which means you can move it around the text easily. You can even bring it to the top if you want, and this is moving in front of the text. Okay, this is in front of the text, which is usually what I use in some cases, but sometimes depending on what you are writing, you may want to put it in line with the text. So in line with the text can make more sense, okay, in this case. So let's say in line with the text, right? So you can push it up a little bit, and you have the rest of the text below. Okay, so in line with text, whatever picture you put is going to go in line with the text. Or you can put top and bottom, which is separated from the top and bottom, just like so, depending on which location you put. So it all depends on you. So let's try to put the other one. Let's say this one, we cut it, and then we can put it here and paste it, and we can wrap it if you so wish. You can wrap it around. We can put it top and bottom, or we can just make it a square, and you can see just like so. And we can put the other one, the last one also, maybe depending, we can put it, you can cut and paste it over here. So once you paste, what usually happens is you can double click on it, and you can see the picture format editor. You can play around with the text using different features over here. Okay, even the wrapping of the text, you can check it here. You can see it just basically here. As you hover over it, you can see the text showing, okay, through, behind the text, and all that. You can see the preview of it over here, and you can change the position if you want. So this is a line. Okay, this is text wrapping the same way, but then in different formats. So you have more layout options. If you want to explore, you can explore it very easily over here, and you have other bunch of options from picture border to picture effect and picture layout. All this you can play around with them and see what effect it has on your picture, but the ones I usually use is the picture style, which you can play around with very easily over here in Microsoft Word. It's very easy and fantastic to try to explore and see what you can do with it, okay, to beautify your picture and thereabout. Okay, so this is a bit about how to bring in a picture or an image into Microsoft Word and then customize it or play around with it, with its position and location around accordingly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to make certificates for your staff, for your students, and for any kind of event that you have organized and you want to reward participants or someone within your network that has achieved something. Okay, so you can prepare your certificate within Microsoft Word and share it with them very easily. You can print it and you can share the soft copy in PDF or in the Word version. So all you need to do to start is to open a new file. You can come to file over here and you can come to new, and you can see a bunch of templates over here of different kind of things. But for today, we're going to concentrate on certificates. Okay, so you can come over here and you can search for certificates, right? And you can see a bunch of templates that you can customize to your liking, and you can easily use it as a certificate that you can share with your friends or with your colleagues. You can check around to see so many of them, right, that involve different kind of things, anyone you like, you can customize, you can select and customize it to your liking. So let's say we are going with this, and you can see a preview of this. Okay, you can click to create and you can have it over here, and you're free to change the components, for example the major elements. If you want, you can double click to change the components. For example, you can double click to change this coloration from the existing color to any color. The shape fill, you can change it to any color of your choice. You can see we are changing it accordingly. Right, so you're free to change it to any color of your choice. Right, and I think this golden color kind of looks fantastic on it, so you can change on anyone. Just double click on the part and you can just be able to change it. You can put your company logo over here if you want. So you can see, first of all, you start by looking at what kind of certificate is this. So this certificate of achievement, right? This acknowledges that the recipient's name has successfully completed the maybe program or something, right? So you can put the content, and then you can put this is the month, day and year, and you put the signature by who. All right, so let's say this is certificate of acknowledgement, not achievement. So you're free to double click and replace it with something. Let's say certificate of acknowledgement, right? So you're free to replace it, and you can see you can make it like this, certificate of acknowledgement. You can change this to acknowledge that, this acknowledges that you can put the name of the person. So for example, I say Dr. Rashid has successfully completed the program pathway in presentation mastery, right? And you can put the date, month and year over here. You just put maybe today, the 31st of December 2021. So you can put the signature, you can bring in signature if you want, or you can just write. So let's say in my own case I want to draw. So I need to delete this, then I can draw over here, right? So I can come all the way to draw, and you can select which pen. So let's say I'm going with this pen and I want to draw like this, and let's say I have it signed. Okay, you can put your company logo over here if you want. If you don't want, you can easily delete it. All right, so I finished. So I come back to my mouse cursor and I can delete this if I want. So I don't want to put my company logo, I can easily delete it if I so wish. And at this point you can see the certificate is complete. So certificate of acknowledgement, this acknowledges that this person has successfully completed pathways in presentation mastery, and then this is the date and this is the signature. All right, so you're free to customize, you're free to bring in your logo if you want, you're free to put in another thing also if you want. So for example, I want to put in something maybe like a badge that can signify really that this is a certificate. Okay, so let me try to bring in something like an image. So you can come to insert over here and you can go to pictures, and you can insert from this device, and you can navigate to the location, and we can see it over here. We can just insert it over here and you can bring it. You can specify the position, you can put it in front of text, and you can see very easily you can move it to any location of your choice. Okay, you can reduce the sizing and you can put it over here, and I think this kind of makes it looks cool and fantastic. Okay, so this is just a bit on how to make certificates. All right, if you want to export this, you can export it in PDF, or you can export it in JPEG or in picture format or in PNG. So all you need to do is to come to file over here, and you can come to export, and you can say export as PDF, and you can see the format PDF. You just specify the location you want to save it, and then you give it a name and you publish, and then it is saved. You can see a preview of it. Right, this is a preview of the certificate that you have. Okay, let's just zoom it out and you can see it completely. This is a preview of the certificate that you've just created. All right, so this is just a bit on how to create a certificate using Microsoft Word. In today's video, I want to share with you how to download fonts and install in Microsoft Word of Windows 11. In Microsoft Word, we have some default fonts. For example, let's check on this. And let's say we open any of our new document, and you can see a range of fonts over here. There are so many that you can find, but then there are some extra ones that you cannot find here. So we can find to add on this, and we can be able to access them over here. So let's close this. And the website to get different kind of fonts, there are a series of websites, but the one I used to use the most is the fontspace.com. So you just come over to your browser over here, you can type fontspace.com. It's going to get you to this website where you have more than 85,000 free fonts that you can download and use. Okay, you can see them, so many of them. So all you need to do is to just identify the ones that you like. So let's say we go with this Handycomb. So we just click on this and we can see the looks. And if you're satisfied with it, this is a sample. If you're satisfied with the preview, you just come over to this free download. You click on this to download, and you can see mine over here. I just downloaded. So you can just come over to this arrow, and you can show in folder, and you can see it over here. It has just downloaded. So we can just right click and say open. You can open it on the zip. You can extract to a given file. Let's say I'm extracting to my videos and I'm adding a new folder. I call it fonts on Word, and I'm extracting it here. So let's say I click OK to extract, and it has already extracted. So you can just close on this and navigate from here to fonts on Word, and you can see over here. So you open, this is the fonts that we've just downloaded, Handycomb. So what you need to do is to leave this open. You can come over to the start menu here, and you come to control panel. You come to your control panel. You open the control panel. You make sure the view is set to icons, large icons, so you can see it over here like this. If it's in category, this is what you will see. But if it is on small and large icons, you can see it easily over here. So you can come to fonts, just click on fonts, and you can see a range of fonts that are installed already. But then we want to bring in this new font. So all you need to do is to come to that file where we have it opened. This is the one we just downloaded, Handycomb. So you just drag and drop this file over here, and it's copying. Once it has finished copying, so you can just close this and then confirm whether it has downloaded Handycomb. So you just open your Microsoft Word, open anything, and you can come down here to the fonts. You can check on Handycomb, and you can see it over here. It's downloaded. So this is how to download and add fonts to your Microsoft Word, ladies and gentlemen. In this tutorial, I want to share with you how to insert a watermark into your document that you've designed or you've typed or you've prepared, just to protect it from usage by other people. So you can insert watermark to mark it as a draft document or confidential document or protected document or thereabout. So all you need to do is to start by coming to design over here at the top of the ribbon. Just come to design, and you can come to the watermark over here. You just click on the drop down. So you see different kind of watermarks. You have confidential across like this, confidential horizontal. You have do not copy sign, or you can have the do not copy horizontal just like so, or you can have other features like draft, sample, or thereabout. These are the disclaimers that you can use easily to protect your document. So once you put in confidential, you can see it has just been added to your document, confidential. This is going to be confidential. So the final version is going to take this confidential or do not copy. You can see it will just be inserted in your document, do not copy. So whoever is going to have access to this, who will see this do not copy sign, or you can have draft sign. So you can write anything, but then the person will know that this is a draft sign, this is a draft document, it's not the final one. In addition to this, you can check out more watermark from theoffice.com. If you have the option, you can just click, you can see more watermarks. If you want to see, you can see custom watermarks. Maybe you have a given watermark that you want to put on your own, maybe do not copy but in your own style with your company brand or thereabout. You can use customize watermark. You can just click and you can easily write the content, no watermark, at all. Or if you want to select a picture, you can select the picture and bring it in from wherever. So select the picture. So let's say you are bringing it from a file or from a Bing. You just bring it from a file within your computer, for example. Let's say you're selecting anything, any sign that can signify that this belongs to you. So for example, let me use my university logo. Let's say I'm using something like this. Oh, just simple logo. You can just select it, and once you can now put it, specify the other properties. So now this is the location that you're going to put, and it's going to be washout. Okay, you can put the scale auto 500, the sizing. Okay, over here you can size it. Let's say we leave it automatic. You have different kind of watermarks: no watermark, picture, or text. If you want the text, you can go ahead, but now we'll put in as a picture. So let's see what happens. So you just click and it's going to show on that document faded just like so as your own watermark or your protected sign. So all the text you write are going to come above this. Or if you want to have a text watermark but customize one, you can just come to custom, but then you come to text and then you specify the language you want to write about, or you can specify the text over here. So strictly confidential, right? So you can specify the font size and the sizing also from here, and the coloration also from here. You can make it red if you want the people to know that. You can make it diagonal or horizontal accordingly. So you can hit on apply and you can see it over here. You can see the sample, strictly confidential. You can make it semi-transparent or transparent, fully or full color. Okay, so you can see it over here, or you can make it semi-transparent, and you can make it, or you can make it horizontal and apply same way depending on your choice. So once you're done, you can close on this. If you want to remove any kind of watermark at any given point, all you need to do is to still come back to the same design, come to the watermark and come over here and say remove watermark, and it's going to remove the watermark very easily and just like so. So this is about watermark. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to transform a Word document into a web page. Okay, so you have a Word document, something like this. We have something that has to do with Albert Einstein. It's just his history, and you can see how simple it is, and just his picture and the more details about him. This is more details, and at the end we say for more information you can reach out to Wikipedia to read more about this very gentleman. And we want to transform this, we want to convert this simple text into a web page from the Microsoft Office. So remember, for you to use this feature you have to be on Microsoft Office 365, okay, for you to be able to use this feature. So all you need to do is to come to the file menu over here, and you can come to transform. Okay, you can see transform over here. You can just click transform and you can wait for it to come up. Okay, so transform to web page. Okay, so you can see it over here, it has just been transformed. So you can take a look at it. These are sample styles that you can choose and have it transformed to that style. You can see a bunch of them, so you feel free to check them around. And for now, let's say we go with this first one. I think I kind of like it. So let's select this and say transform. Okay, your document will be transformed to a Microsoft Sway web page using your personal account, with mentorship one. If you would rather use a different account, click your username, click your name in the upper right corner and go to switch account. So let's say we want to transform using this account. So it's uploading our content. Okay, so you can see it's just been converted, and you can just have a preview of it to see how it looks. Okay, you can see the navigation and the features. Okay, you can feel free to just have a look at it. This is the web page, and right now you can edit it if you want. You can click on the edit menu and you can edit it in Sway. Okay, for example, you can show emphasis on, you can link this, or you can bring in a background if you have. You can bring in background of Albert Einstein, so you can just click on this one, for example. Okay, so select and I say add, and we can see it. Right, so this is it. You can click on this and you can edit also. You can change the header, you can change the heading, you can change it to a head, you can bring in emphasis, and you can bring in bullets as well. If you have other content, you can bring in numbers, and you can link this to, you can insert hyperlink. Like for example, this one, you can bring in emphasis, you can bring in focus points on this. You can just highlight the focus point. It is going to show on the image. Okay, so once you are done, you can see a preview of it over here. Okay, so you're free to edit different kind of content. All this, you can edit the image as well. You can bring in more details, you can bring in focus point, and you can add some captions to this. Okay, so let's say we add a little things to this, and you can bring in the text card over here. You can add and reduce so many things. If you like, you can add a complete section also inside a content. Maybe it's a heading, or it's a text, or it's an image, or it's a stack, or you can upload the image directly, or it's a text. You can bring in different kind of text, media, you bring in image, video, or an audio, and you can embed this using a code from that you've generated, and you can upload directly. Or is it a group, you can bring in automatic grids, and you can do a comparison and bring in stacks and slideshow. Okay, so easily you can bring in different kind of content and add to this. You can have the text card. Once you click, you can edit also and have a preview of it, and you can keep on adding the content. So once you are done editing this website on this way, you feel free to kind of play it, and let's have a preview of it, how it's going to look like. You can see it. Okay, so you can see the background that we've just inserted is there, and you can see the key things. Okay, maybe hopefully we can remove this line. So you can go back to the edit, and we can remove this picture. Okay, this entire section we can just delete it. Okay, so right now we can play, and let's see the preview. Okay, you can see, and I think it kind of looks cool, right? For more information, right? So right now you can share with your friends over here, or you can check out many other different kind of features like my swears. You can create new swear, you can duplicate this way and continue with the editing. You can export this, and you can print it. You can change the accessibility view and sign out. Okay, so for example, you want to share, you have the option to share with anyone with this link can view this way. Okay, or you can edit it. For example, not only view, he can also edit, and you have the more options. For example, you can reset the share settings, or you can just copy this this link, and you can share with the person that you want to share it with. So the person, once he clicks on this web address, it's going to navigate to this website. Okay, so let's just say we copy this, and we'll try to paste it in a different browser and see what we are going to get. So we paste this link, and then we hit on enter, and let's watch and see what happens. Okay, and this is it. You can see the page, as simple as it is, we've just converted it into a web page. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is just a bit on how to transform a Word document into a web page using Microsoft Sway. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert page borders to your Microsoft Word document. So all you need to do is to come over to your Microsoft Word document, and this is it. Maybe I have this document, I want to insert borders to it. All you need to do is come to design at the top of the ribbon over here, come to design, and you can see page borders at the top right. Okay, you just hit on page borders, and you can see you can start from borders. You can put none, you can put a box, and once you click on anything, you can see the preview from the right side over here. You can put shadow if you want. You can have some shadow at the right side, and you can put 3D effect where you have the page in 3D, and you can put custom effect where you can specify what you want. Okay, so you can go with box, for example, and you can define the style, the line style. You have different kind of lines over here. You can go with any of them, and you can see the preview. Also, you can have the different coloration. You can put color to the lines, and you can see the effect over here. You can change the line width. Okay, you can change it to any kind of width of your choice, and you can see the effect from here apply to a given paragraph. And once you're done, you can check the border. You can see the border. You can put in any kind of border. So once you're done, you can hit on add OK to see the preview of how it's going to look like. You can see it looks kind of fantastic. But if you want to change anything, you can make it shadow. You can click on OK to have an effect. See the effect on the right side, and you can change it as well to something like 3D, and you can change the thickness of the line to something like this, and you said OK, and you can see it glowing out fantastically in a very professional way. Okay, so you're free to change it to anything. You can come to page borders and put in some shading and put color to the shadings as well, so you can easily see it. So this colorizes the entire text or the place containing the text, and you're free to check it. You can clear and put in the percentages over here. You can check out the patterns from here in terms of the percentage of the coloration. Once you hit on OK, you can see it changes everything to that color. You can see it changes everything to that color. So depending on what kind of message you want to send, you can easily change your border color and fill over here. From here, change the shading and check the borders as well. Let's say we don't want the shading, we want it to be purely white. We say OK, and then you can check the other features like the border and make it a shadow, so you can see it's shadow. You can see the reflection, and once you hit on it, you can see the clarity and the reflection. It kind of looks cool. And if you want to remove the border at any given point, you just come to none and you say OK, and everything goes back to normal except the page border, the other border. Okay, so we can just remove it. Come over here, come to borders, and just come to none, and everything is going to go off just like so. So this is how to insert page borders to your Microsoft Word document. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to send multiple letters using one click, using the mail merge option that is available in Microsoft Word. Okay, you don't have to replicate the letter. So for example, at this time, I want to send this letter that has been written. This is, for example, my address, and this is the recipient address that I want to put. Recipient's name, company name, street address, city, state, zip code. And then I will put this dear recipient name. This letter is to inform you that Cyclone Syntop Sales has a new mailing address, and that's the address here. And then we have other features with the following new address. We'll put the address over here, and then it concludes. Okay, so this is a very simple letter, but I need to send it to each and every of these recipients. We have about 62 recipients, both of them with first name, last name, company name, and business address, city, state, zip code, as well as phone number and email address. Ordinarily, I'm going to have to write in 52 different letters, and then we can send it individually to each person using one click per letter per email address. But I want to show you how to do it within a simple click to send 62 emails or to print 62 letters using this single one page, using the function called mail merge. So to start with, all you need to do, so you understand that we have to change recipient name, company name, street address, city, and state zip code, as well as the dear recipient name. Okay, so we need to change it. So the first thing we need to do is to start by coming to the mailings over here, and you can see mail merge here. So start mail merge, we just click on this, and we can see different kind of mail merge options like letters, email, messages, envelopes, labels, directory, and all. So but for today, we want to send a simple letter, so we use letters. Once we select letters, we know that it's going to start the mail merge on letters, so we select the recipients over here. So the next thing is to select the recipients. We click on this drop down, and there are two different ways to type to select recipients. To type a new list, which means you have to click on this and you have to type the individual recipients, first title, first name, last name, and the other details over here. Okay, city, address, and all the details over here, zip code, country, home, work, and email, all their phone numbers, all their details. You have to do it one by one. New entry, delete entry, and use these features. Okay, which is going to be quite hectic and so much work, and we don't have that time and energy. All right, so the next option is to use an existing list. Okay, or you can choose from Outlook contacts. If you have an Outlook list of contacts, you can easily use that and you can customize it and send the mail. Okay, but for now we are going to use this an existing list, because we have already had an existing list in the Microsoft Excel data. So we can click to choose an existing list, and we can navigate to the location where we have it saved. Here we are, we have the mail match document over here, so we just select it and click on open, and this is going to show us the active sheet where our data is stored. Right now our data is stored in sheet number 1. That's why it already detected it that it is already in section number 1. And first row of data contains column headers. You can enable this if you have column headers in the first row of your data. In our own case, we have we have headers on the first row of our header. For our header, you can see it. It's the header. It's the header we have on the first row. So we can tick this if you have headers on the first row, or if you don't have, you can untick as appropriate. All right. So we say okay because it's already able to recognize our Excel sheet. So we say okay at this point. Notice that after we just made this change, these 3 icons become active. Before they are grayed like this, now they become active. So we have the address block, and we have the greeting lines, and we have the insert match field all coming into active. So we can check on the address block to check and make sure that we have the address block written in the correct way. Once you come to the insert address block over here, you can specify the address element. For example, insert recipient's name in this format. You want it to be Josh only, an abbreviation, or you want it to be Joshua, or you want it to be Joshua Randali, for example. This is just an example, and you can see the preview over here from the document that we have. All right, so you can always move to see the next one, Adrian, okay, and the company name. So you can insert company name. You select to insert company name. If you deselect it, it's going to remove the company name from that Excel sheet. Okay, but you can select to insert company name because we are inserting company name. You can insert company postal address as well. You can remove it or you can insert it. Okay, you can put in format address according to destination, region or country. So you can format it according to the destination, region or country. But for now we want to take it as Joshua only, or you can put it first name, last name. So let's say there are other choices also. So let's say we are going for Josh Randali, okay, or you just Joshua Randali Jr., the full name. So you can have a preview of also over here. So we have to put the full name of the recipient at the recipient address specification. So we click on OK and we take this. So over here we have the recipient name. So we can select. But before we go to recipient name, let's start by changing the recipient greetings, dear recipient name. So we want to remove this dear recipient name and replace it with greetings. We can select this dear recipient name. We can come to greeting line and we can say dear. So how do you want the name to appear? Joshua Randali, or we can make it a single name, dear Joshua. Okay, and at the end we can have either a comma or a column or none. You can specify from here. So let's say we want to have a comma, and in cases when you have an invalid recipient name, what should the computer do? It should return dear sir or madam. Okay, you can check in other and put into whom it may concern, or you can put none in cases when there is an error. Okay, so it should return this. So but for now we want only the first name, and you can check around dear Douglas with comma. So this is an example. You can check around within the Excel to see the sample, dear Lola, dear Patricia, and dear Rudy. You can see all of them are well spelled with the first name and the comma at the last part. So once you click on OK here, it's going to insert the greeting line. So you're free to delete all these ones. We can go back to recipient name. We just select it. Okay, and we can come to we can make sure we select it. When we select it, we can see the insert mail match field disappears. So what you need to do is we have to come back to it and double click it 3 times so that you can activate this insert match field. Okay, you can click on the drop down and you can come to, this is recipient name. You can put first name and then we can put another name as well. Okay, first name, then we can give a space, then we can insert last name. Okay, last name. So it's going to be first name, last name, and then the company name. We're going to put in company name here. So you can come over here and put company name. Okay, so it's going to be company name, and then you can select street address. You come over here and also replace the street address with business address. and then you can put CT. Okay, you replace CT. Also, you can come over and replace CT with CT like this, and you can put the state code accordingly, and you can come over here and put zip code. So right now we have almost finished the replacement. Okay, you can see first name, last name, so you can have a preview of how this letter is going to look like. So let's check out the preview over here. So click on preview, and we can see the first, or the number 8 guy is Rudy Alarcon. This is his company, this is the number, street address, and even the zip code. And dear Rudy, this is it. So it means it's correct. So we can move back and check accordingly with all the other recipients. You can see dear Ellis, dear Douglas, dear Lena, and dear Andrew, and dear Martin. Okay, Martin Smith. Okay, you can check also to confirm this is the first guy, which is Martin Smith. And you can see the arrangement, the details are all correctly written over here. So the letter looks kind of cool and fantastic. You can always check the preview, or it's a toggle. You can enable it and disable it. You can enable it and disable it, and you can check across all the features. Once you are okay, you are satisfied with it, you can click on OK, and you can come back to the editing. So you check and make sure that everything is correct. So once you click on finish mail match, you can have the option to edit individual documents. You can do it individually for the 62 recipients, or you can print this document, or you can send it via email. So once you click on send via email, send email messages, you can click on send email messages, and it's going to send this email to the 62 recipients on different, all of them will receive a different letter with his details within one click. All right, and if you want, you can send it to, you can print this document. So for example, I may want to print, because this is my option, as I may want to print this document through my printer, and once I print this, it's going to print 62 versions of this letter at once, even though it is only one page here, but it's going to print it with 62 letters, each carrying different names of each individual. Okay, so if you are printing an appointment letter, or you are printing something, a business letter, or something that is, you have to send it to the same sort of people, the same wordings but different names, different address, this is the best method to do. So for example, I'm going with the print, and I can say print all, and you can say print all, and you can just say okay, and we can specify our printer. For example, I want to go with Foxit, and we can specify all, and we can say okay, and it's going to print this in 52 pages. Okay, so you can select the file location where you want to save it, and you can give it a name. You can just save, and you can see right now it has finished printing. So you can just come in to just have a look at what and how it does it. So you can check, this is the first letter, this is Martin Smith, and this is the details, dear Martin, and you can see how it is written. You can check the second one also, this is Andrew Thomas, sound modern. You can check the address, dear Andrew. You can check the third one also, this is this is McGill. You can say Cyberphonic Music. This is the address, dear Lena. This is correctly written, and it has printed all the documents in one document. So you're free to print it, you're free to share it, you're free to email it also to your friends. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is how to use the mail match in Microsoft Word. In this video, I want to share with you how to copy Excel data into your Microsoft Word. So for example, you are working on your Microsoft Word and you want to transfer, or you want to copy and paste some of your data from Microsoft Excel into your Microsoft Word. We have a tab that we call summation of all this data, summation of the profit. So we can call it, okay, so and then we can give it a sum equal to sum of all this, and we open the brackets and we copy the entire thing, and then we can close and hit enter. So this gives us the sum of all our profit. So for example, we can bold this and this as well, and right now we make it let's make them to all borders. Okay, so assuming we have this table and we want to copy it to our Microsoft Word document, so we just highlight it. The first method is to highlight it, Ctrl C to copy, and then we can come to our Microsoft Word document. So assuming we are working here, and we can just do Ctrl V to paste it. Okay, so the one thing we will see here is that it pasted it correctly the way we have it on our Microsoft Excel. But the downside to this is that when we try to update the table in terms of the profit, assuming this is 25, we want to make it 4, and you can see it doesn't change the sum total. Okay, you can try to make this is 39, we want to make it 5, it doesn't change the sum total, it still stay at 310. So this is the downside, because this paste it as just a text or a data without link to the other Excel sheet. Okay, and we want it to be in the sense that when we paste the document, the data, if we make some edits from here, it should automatically update from here at this point. Okay, so we can try another method. Maybe let's say we can make this a table from here. So we can select the data as well, and then we can come to insert, and we can come to table, and we just select it and say my table has headers. Yeah, it has headers, so we can just click and it has made it a table. Okay, but now you see it has made it a table. So let's try to copy as well and see what effect does it have. So we try to copy. Okay, so we copy again, we copy everything, Ctrl C, and then we can come back to our Microsoft Word and paste it. You can see it has pasted it, but then when we just try to change this 40 to 5, it doesn't still update it. It's still at 310. Okay, so which means it's not still linked. So the best way and one of the most effective means in which you can paste your document from Microsoft Excel and have them behave in the same way they will behave in Excel is using this method. So let's try to show you how to do it. So let's get back to the Microsoft Excel data. Okay, so the same thing goes on. So let's try to copy again. So when you copy this data, for example, you select it and you do Ctrl C. Now on coming back to Microsoft Word, what you need to do is to come to this home tab and you can come to paste. Okay, you will not paste directly, you just come to this small arrow and click on the drop down and you can do paste special. Okay, you can just select paste special. So once you select paste special, it's going to bring this dialog for you, and right now it's set to HTML format, but what we are looking for actually is Microsoft Excel worksheet object. So you paste this as a Microsoft Excel worksheet object, so it's going to behave at any given time like a Microsoft Excel data. Okay, so you click on OK, and this becomes a pasted document in Microsoft Excel but behaves like Microsoft Excel. So let's see how it behaves like Microsoft Excel. So anytime you click inside and you double click inside and you want to edit this particular document, you can edit it. So if, for example, I want to change this 40 to 5, and once you put 5, notice how it's going to update. Once I hit enter, it changes the value of the summation also. So telling you that it has been changed to Excel sheet. So right now items line 7 have been changed to line 6 had been changed to row 6 had been changed to 5, and it has changed the whole data to 275 from 310. So it is very important to know that this link, this table is connected to the one in the Microsoft Excel. Okay, so whatever change that we make is going to affect the one in Microsoft Excel. So the behavior is kind of the ones that we wanted, because when we play around with the data, it also shows the effect over here. It affects the sum also, just like the way it should have done in Microsoft Excel. So this is how to bring in the table, okay, the Excel data. Let's try to look at the chart and see whether it's going to behave in the same way. When you follow the same method of paste special, you try to follow the same process, it's going to behave in the same way it would have behaved in Microsoft Excel. So let's give it a try and see how it works. Okay, so for example, we are back to our Microsoft Excel and we copy this data. We click on copy and we come to paste special as we did before. We come and select it as an Excel chart object. Okay, notice the difference, Excel chart object, and we click on OK, and it's going to paste this as an Excel entity. Okay, as an Excel object. Notice that it came in too big, but you can also resize it by selecting on the edges and just dragging around to make it smaller. Okay, so you can see we have made it smaller and it came in the way it was in the Microsoft Excel. You can also increase it to be a little bit bigger. But then one of the key benefits here is when we try to edit this very chart by double clicking on it, it's going to refer back to the Microsoft Excel, and we can do quite a lot over here. So you can see it has taken back. We can add other features that we have in Microsoft Excel, like the axis title, the chart title, the data labels, and the data table, and many more. We can enable all these just like the way we'll do when we are in Microsoft Excel. Okay, and you can see we can bring it to home Excel, to the home tab, and you can see as if we are in Microsoft Excel. So you are free to change the design, the chart design, and many more features over here. Okay, you can change it to another design, and you can see it has behaved just like the way it should behave in Microsoft Excel. And you can see even the sheet equations, everything is coming back exactly the way we have it in Microsoft Excel. So when we give this data to our colleagues, they can equally work in the same way, and it will come back to the Microsoft Excel, and they can edit it also using the same format, the same method. You can update it and edit. So in cases when you want to give these documents to your friend or to your colleague or to your teacher, but you don't want the teacher to be able to edit, or the students to be able to edit this data, to be able to play around with the data, you want it fixed, you can do that as well using another method. So the last method is you come back to the same Excel sheet, but then instead of copying the normal copy, you just copy them. Okay, and then you can come all the way to clipboard over here, and you can come to this copy icon. You press on this small icon, you say copy as picture, copy this as a picture. So you just click and you say as shown on screen, yes. As shown when printed, no. As shown on screen, yes. And you have two options to select from over here. You can copy it as a picture, or you can copy it as a bitmap. Whichever way you copy is going to function as a picture. Okay, so let's say we'll go with the format as a picture. Okay, we click on OK, and it has copied this as a picture. And when we come over to the Microsoft Word, you can easily right click and paste it, and you can see this, it came as a picture. All right, it came in as a picture, so you don't have to worry about anything, because at this point you cannot edit it. In the same way with the chart, you can bring it in as a picture also. You just select it, you go up here and you copy as a picture, and then you can specify everything over here, and once you're done you say okay, and then when you come over here you can come down and say paste, and it's going to paste it as a picture without you being able to edit it. Okay, you can see you cannot edit this. When you try to double click, it brings in the picture format. All right, so this is a bit on how to copy data from Excel into your Microsoft Word document, and you have it the way you want it, even is it as a picture or as a raw document, as a raw data that you can easily update and enhance or change things to fit in your desire and align with the Microsoft Excel. So it can function, all the formulas that you put can equally work in Microsoft Excel. In this video, I want to share with you how to use the paragraphing very nicely in Microsoft Word, so you can have the best experience and produce the most professionally looking document in your Microsoft Word. So to start with, this is the home tab, this is the home ribbon, these are the home icons that you can play around with, but what we are interested in is the paragraphing. So the first thing is the alignment. Okay, so you can align left, you can select a given text. Let's say we select this text, we can align left, we can align center, and we can align right accordingly, just like so, and we can put the justification just like so. So everything is well arranged side by side, edge by edge, and you can play around with the line numbering as well. Right now it's set to 1.0, you can make it 1.5, 1.15, 1.5, 2.0, or what we call the double line spacing, or 2.5 or 3.0. As you move, you can see the line increasing in spacing between each other, and you can remove spacing before paragraph if you want. For example, this one, you can remove the spacing before the paragraph, and you can just start the next paragraph just like that, or add spacing before paragraph, or remove spacing after paragraph. Okay, you can remove and it will shrink it a little bit. So you can increase the page sizing to 2.0 if you want it to be double line spacing, or you want to put a custom spacing or line spacing option. You can click on this. You can change it from justified to left, right, or center accordingly. Right now it's set to justified. Outline level is body text. You can change it to level 1, level 2 to level 7. Indentation you can change accordingly, according to left or right, special, first line, hanging, or by something. You have to change it by some amount. Okay, you can mirror indents if you want, and then you can change the spacing also. Right now it's 0, you can increase it. Okay, you can see the sample over here, or decrease it accordingly, before and after. So before the paragraph you can see the spacing, or you can decrease it, and you can see the preview over here very easily. So you can come all the way to 0 and to automatic if you want, or to 0. I usually go to 0. And then the line spacing you can change it double, at least, or exactly, or multiple. You can make it single, and you can make the increment from here. Okay, so once you get everything right, this is line and page breaks. You can insert different kind of line and page breaks over here accordingly. Once you're done, you click on OK, and it affects everything. So right now you can make it this much. You can increase the spacing to maybe 2.0, and you can see it just appeared. Next you have the bullets. So for example, when you have list of items, you can easily bring in bullets to specify those. For example, I have this list, first, second, third, and fourth, all these ones, and I want to put the bullets to them. So all you need to do is to come over here. You can see right now it's set to none. You have different bullets. You can see these ones. You can bring in these bullets. You can bring in these bullets, or these ones which I prefer. These are my favorites. Or you can have these ones. You can have these. You can have these. You can see the preview, or you can define a new bullet. You can see different kind of structure. You can even check out symbols and bring in symbols online, or from the list of symbols that you have, you can easily bring them in and make them your bullets. Okay, select anyone from the mathematical symbols, from this kind of symbols. You can select any, and just once you click on any and you click on OK, it's going to take effect over here. You can put fonts also if you want. Alignment should be left, right, or center. Okay, once you're done, you click on OK. You can put numbering as well if you want. Right now it's set to none. You can put in the 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can put them with some brackets. You can put them with Roman numerals. You can put A, B, C, also with small letters, or there about the Roman numerals, anyone. Or you can define new numbering style accordingly. Once you take in 1, 2, 3, you can see it. And you can bring in multi-level indenting. Okay, you can see the multi-level ones. You can see level 1, level 2, level 3. All these you can use to define your paragraph, and you can arrange, you can decrease the indenting, or you can increase the indenting accordingly. The spacing in inwards or outwards, you can do that from here. And you can sort. Okay, so this is sorting according to alphabetical or numbering. Accordingly, you can do all that. You can bring in these paragraph marks. Okay, to just specify for you where there's a spacing in between lines. You can see it's just there to showcase places where there are spaces, so you know exactly during your editing how to navigate around your text. Okay, so you know that there are spacings in between. Once you click, you can reduce the spacing, and you can see you are reducing the number. So it shows that at this point there's a break between these two paragraphs. Okay, there's a break here, and this signifies the end of it, and this signifies section end, or continuous, or section break. It can show you exactly using this very paragraph icon. So it will help you to show that. Once you are done everything, you are done arranging your document, you can just always click it out, and it will just disappear. You can change the coloration of different kind of things, like the text. Easily you can change over here, and you can play around with the borders, the top, left and right, and all borders. You can put in everything in your text accordingly. As you are navigating, you can see the preview down here of how your text is going to look. So feel free to try the paragraph to bring in some professionalism in your work. This is about paragraphing and indenting, and how to bring in different kind of page numbering, bullets into your work. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. In this video, I want to share with you how to get Microsoft Word for free from the Office 365 product. You can get Microsoft Office for free. So all you need to do is to start by coming to the office.com, and you can sign in using any of your Microsoft account. If you ever have an account with live Microsoft Office, or you have a school account, then you can be able to log in directly and have access to this very free Microsoft Word application on the web. If you don't have all these emails, or if you have the emails and you have not signed in, you can come over here to sign up for a free version of the Office. So once you click on this and follow the procedure, you're going to sign in into your Microsoft Office, and you can just you are going to sign up and then you can come back here to sign in. Okay, so let me sign in using one of my accounts, and let's meet at the other side. Okay, so right now I've just signed in, I've just logged into my account and using my Microsoft account. So this is Office 365, and what we are after for this tutorial is Microsoft Office Word. Okay, so we'll click on Word over here, and we have the option to start from templates. Okay, so these are a bunch of templates that you can check around and use them for your content depending on what message you want to send. And for this tutorial, we want to start from a fresh blank page. So you just click on this blank page and you can start working immediately over here. Okay, if you have some text, you can easily bring them in and see how we can do some series of editings. For example, you have this text and you can bring it in and do some series of editing. Okay, so the first thing you need to do when you have this platform of Microsoft Word is to make sure you change the name of the document. So for right now it's document 1, it's not named, so you can make it Word demo 1. All right, so you see the location where it is, it's in my drive and it's in these documents. Okay, you can view version history and you can change the location also if you want. Okay, it's located in my files and you can see the location. This is where it is. All right, you can select a given folder and move it there if you so wish. So let's say at this point we have named it demo 1 and it is saved, and you have the option to search for any keyword over here. From this search menu, you can search for anything within the document, and at the top here you can see the file menu. All the ribbons are similar to the ones that we used to have in Microsoft Office. Okay, so you can, for example, you have the option to select and you can increase or decrease the sizing, the font size, and you have the option to bold and unbold, the different italize, underline, use marker on different kind of features, and you can use different kind of coloration on the content, as well as you can use different kind of clear formatting and many more, strike through, superscript, manual, subscript, and many more. And you can even play around with the alignment. You can align center, you can align left, align right, each one. Okay, so you can justify, and you have the option to use the different kind of styles over here. Okay, and you have different search option, find and replace, and you can dictate, okay, directly to your content. So for example, you can dictate. Once you click on the dictate menu, you can just click and you can dictate. Okay, so you allow over here and then you can start dictating. So you can just place your mouse at the location where you want to start dictating, and once you click, it's going to start dictating. Hello and welcome to Epic Mentorship. You can see it. Okay, so over here you can copy this text format. You can use the format painter and you copy the properties here and you can transfer it over here directly, and you can see it has just taken effect. You can play with different kind of font type and font size. So at the insert menu, you can insert different things. You can insert break page, you can insert tables. At any given point, you can insert table of different depending on number of cells and columns. You can insert different kind of cells above and below the tables, because once you enable the table, you can see the table editing menu over here, and you have different bunch of things that has to do with this table already enabled. Okay, so you can change the alignment, align at the top left and top center, okay, and top right, and you can do all sort of alignment with this table. You can split cells if you want. You can select a particular cell and you can split it into two. Okay, you can have it to two columns. You can just click and you can see it split, and you can distribute accordingly. You can distribute the table. You can have different kind of styles of table, different kind of table styles depending on your liking. All right, content as well. And you have different kind of this is the normal editor. You can use it to edit your content, and you have the designer, different kind of design. It can preview and showcase different kind of design for you. You can check maybe a sample page. You can check out the designer and see if you have a given sample that you can use. And you have the option from these last three dots to use the line spacing. You have the bunch of line spacing, and you can check the line spacing options over here. And you have the spatial indenting, left to right, text direction. You can do all sort of this, and you have the math type as an add-in added to this Microsoft Word. At the insert menu, you can insert so many things. We have talked about tables, this is picture. You can bring in picture from different kind of sources. For example, over here you want to bring in a picture, you can just easily insert a picture from stock images or from this device or from Bing search engine. So let's say from Bing search engine, and we can see we just search more maybe animals, and you can, let's say, take this one and bring it in. You can see very easily with very good coloration, and you're free to resize and to center it to anywhere you like. So once you select the image, you can see the picture editing format also takes effect, and you can play around with the picture styles, and you can wrap the text around, or you can put it behind the text or in line with the text, or you can rotate the text 90 degrees, or you can rotate, flip vertical, whichever way you want. And you can crop it also. You can crop it using this cropping menu. Okay, you can have the bunch of cropping types, you have other cropping options, you can define the cropping area, and you can define the angles accordingly. And once you here, you can just easily navigate to the cropping area. For example, you want to crop up to this point, or you want to remove this small one and get a big one, you just click out and you have it cropped. Virtually you got so many things to do. Once you enable the feature, the picture editing, you can see different kind of heights, width, and lock aspect ratio when in cases when you are increasing or decreasing the content. Okay, so the aspect ratio is going to be locked, and many more. From here you can check other picture formats. Okay, so back to insert, you can insert picture, you can insert link. Let's say we want to display a text, welcome, and we put in a link to somewhere, maybe these animals, and you just copy the link. Okay, you copy, and then you can come back and just paste this link, and you can say insert, and you can see welcome. Once you hold the control key and click on welcome, it's going to take you over to this animals page. So you can easily link any kind of page. And still on the insert, you can reuse files, you can insert videos, online videos, you can bring in header and footer, you can bring in page numbers of different types, you can see the arrangement, and you can remove pages as well. You can bring in symbols and many more symbols. You can see them depending on what kind of symbols you are targeting. You can have the emojis, and you have different kind of add-ins that you can bring in. Okay, at the layout tab, you have the option to bring in margins, you can bring in orientations, you can change the paper size from landscape to portrait, you can check the paper size from A4 to A5 or to legal, and you can check out different kind of indenting options. You can check out the references, you can generate table of content, you have the review options in cases when you are reviewing manuscripts, you make changes, you can easily track changes, and you can accept or reject changes or previous or after or next changes. Okay, so you can check out the view and customize accordingly. You can bring in header and footer and navigations. Ruler also you can enable from here. Once you click, you can see it at the top, and once you click again, you can disable it if you want. Okay, so I think the ruler kind of makes it looks cool. And you can check the help menu if you want help, or you want to get support from Microsoft Word. So one of the key features of this Microsoft Word is that you can easily collaborate with other people. You can share directly with people. You can call out people even while you are writing. You can call out other people with the @ sign. Once you use the @ sign, you will be able to call out people. So once you use the @ sign, you should be able to call out people within Microsoft Office. And once you click on anyone, and you can just select it, and once you finish, it's going to send him an email requesting for him to collaborate on this document or to make some comment with this person. Abdraman Gali, he can make this comment, he can make comment to this. Once you share, and it will notify him, and then he can comment accordingly. Okay, so that's one of the key features. You can comment and you can catch up some things, and at the end over here, once you finish editing your content and you are done with everything, you can come over here to the file, and you can have the option to save the document as a copy on your computer. You can save it as a Word document copy on your computer. You can download as PDF, you can download as ODT, or you can export also to PowerPoint presentation preview, or you can transform this to a web page. So you can print also, you can share directly. We've just shown how to share, and you can embed this as a code on your website. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is just a bit about how to get Microsoft Word for free on the Office 365 account using online services, which is for free to everyone as far as you have a Microsoft account. If you don't have, I've shown you how you can create one. Today I'm going to share with you how to create a restaurant bill for your clients or for your customers. This bill creation can go for any kind of establishment. It can be for your company, it can be for your shop, it can be for your business, for anything that you have. You can use it just to practice the use of Word to create reasonable bill or other document for yourself. Okay, so the first thing is to start with a blank Microsoft Word document. You can come all the way down to the layout to specify the page size and the margins. So you can come over to margins. The first time you select narrow, and you can come over all the way to the paper size, more paper sizes, and then you can specify over here 5.3 by 7.5. okay, once you are done, you click on OK, and you can see the paper size that we are going to use for this particular case that we are considering. So you can zoom out from here to just be able to see the paper very nicely and clearly, so that you can start typing your text. So the first thing is we are going to look at a number of text that we may need at the beginning. Let me try to paste some of them. Okay, I paste some of them, so let me reduce their sizes. Okay, so these are some of the beginning text that we may require. We may need a date, a restaurant name or the company name, the cash bill, and then the address. We may need a website, we may need an email address, and even a phone number. We may require a phone number, maybe. So we may require a phone number or ease of contact. And then down here we have the customer name, customer address, and customer phone. Okay, I will rearrange all these so that it makes some sense, but for now we have to clear the margins to occupy nearly everything at the top and at the bottom same way. So the first thing is we try to zoom out a little bit and then try to increase the sizing. We can move this to the extreme end. We can take it to the end of the page. We can still move the margin also to the end so that we can have it. So over here we can start to write the restaurant name. We can move this one as well to the end. So over here we can start to write the restaurant name. This can be any name. Let's try to center it. You can center this by coming to the center here, and it will make it centralized. You can select it and try to increase the size. Restaurant name here, and you can change the font if you want to any of your choice. You can come over here and select any name, any font that you feel like can suit your choice. So this is it, and then we can select this is the cash bill that we are designing, so we can just centralize this also and then try to reduce the separation. It's 1, but we can still try to separate to make it maybe 0 point and single line spacing. Okay, so this is it, and we can increase the size as well to make it a little bit bigger. And then we have over here this address. We can select this and make it in a text box. So you can cut this and then you can come over to insert and maybe come to a text box, draw a text box, and then you can come over here and draw, and then you can paste all of them here. You can select all and then try to play with the line spacing, make it 0 and single, and then you're done. So you can have it like this, and you can move it to the side over here. We can double click and try to come to shape format, so you can come to the shape outline and you can see no outline, and then the outline is gone. So the outline is gone and you can see the address. This is the address that we have. So the next thing is we are going to put in some signs to signify the address, but we can just increase the line spacing to a little bit bigger so that we can put in the line spacing. Okay, so let's make it 1:1.5 and just increase the size a little bit so it fits in this. So this is the address, this is the website and all. So we have to put in some icons to signify the address and the website and all. So to bring in these icons, we can come over to insert here and come over to icons over here. So the first is we can put in a location, and then search. We can take in this one very easily and we can say insert. So we can come to this wrap and say in front of text. In front of text, we can resize it and then take it down to this point. Resize it some more so it depicts this location. So this is a location, and we can have website. So website has to do with the address. So we can come over here and put has to do with internet. So we can put something like internet, and then we can have something like this. We can go with it and we can say insert, and then we can try to zoom out. All right, so we can come to this side again and try to put it in front of text, and then we can move it down here. Make it a little bit smaller, and then this is email, right? So we can try to check an icon that signifies an email, same way. Okay, come to icon, go to search email. This one can do. You change it to in front of text. You can bring it over here. And lastly, we can have the phone number, same way. Okay, so we virtually have everything we need. Up here we have the customer name, customer address, and customer phone. You can do all this with the dots, okay? But over here you can try to reduce the separation as well. Maybe make it 0 with single line, and then later on we can play around with this. You can make it maybe 1 to 1.5 if you can. Yeah, I think this looks good. So the next thing is we put in some table down here. So to put in the table, all you need to do is to go to insert and you come to table, and then you can insert a table that is a bit of about 5 by 5, let's say 5 by 5, and we can bring it down a little bit. Okay, the margin over here we can bring it to the extreme end, and we can try to reduce this because this is where we have the will have the serial number. We can have this one to be a little bit longer, and this one smaller, this one also smaller, and this one also smaller. So we can make this a little bit bigger. So here we will have the serial number, we have name of item, quantity, amount. We can put rate here, and then we can put amount here. So you can come over here to this one and we try to create a space down. Okay, we space this down so we have some space to write all these things that we need. Okay, we can merge these cells and these cells. Okay, we just right click and say merge cells, and we can put in the amount. Okay, so we can see it. And then the next thing is we can come down here. So over here we can put the total, we can put the VAT here, and then we can give the grand total. And then down here we have the last finishing part, which we can add receiver signature, and then down here we can put customer signature. Right, so we can just try to push it towards the end a little bit, so it's now complete. So we can just bold this and this together, just try to bold them, and these ones as well. So we can try to bold and try to bring them a little bit to the back so that they can align with this. So this looks kind of cool to me, so we need to bring in this up a little bit. We can increase the size of the date a little and then bold it. Okay, so this is the form we're just talking about. We have the restaurant name, cash bill, and the details over here, address, email, and all. Then you can put in the rest of the details, and once you're done, you can try to change the coloration of the bill. You can change it. Okay, you can change the coloration of the page by just coming all over to the design and then go to page color. You can set this to yellow. Okay, you can set it to this color and it kind of looks cool to me. So this looks cool and you can use it as your receipt. Sorry, we didn't add a logo. We're supposed to have add a logo. So I tried to download a logo that we can put. Okay, so I have a logo downloaded here. We can just paste it. And we can try to make it transparent. Remove. Okay, I think this looks cool. And this one, so this looks cool, so you can just click on it and we have it. This ending part, there is this ending part we may need to keep. Okay, so we just say it's okay, then we can resize it. First of all, we have to take it to in front of text. Then we can resize it and bring it somewhere here. So this kind of looks cool as a receipt. So we can use it as your own receipt. So you can save to PDF using PDF format. You can call it receipt in documents. You can say save. And you can view it in PDF. Right, so very easily you can see your bill as created. You can easily use it. You can print it, put the date, put the details, and you're contactable. These are the details of the customer and all that you require. Amount in Word, you just put everything, and the signature of the customer and of the receiver. So this kind of looks cool. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hello guys, and welcome back to Epic Mentorship. Today I'm going to share with you how you can combine different type of files, different type of Word documents into one document without directly opening each and every one of them and copying the content into one. So to start with, let me show you the three files that I want to convert. They are quite small, so just for ease of understanding. So the first one talks about animation. When you open it, you can see it's just a one page talking about animation, nothing serious. The second one talks about hydraulic engineering. It's just a 2 paragraph, nothing serious. And then the last one talks about river. Okay, it's just 2 paragraphs, also 2 to 3 paragraphs. We want to collapse all this into one Word document without us copying the content of each. You can find this very much handy when you deal with a lot of Microsoft Word documents that you need to put in one into another without you having to open each and every one every time. To start with, all you need to do is to come over to your search bar and search for a fresh Word document. You can open a new Word document where you are going to put in all the three together. So you open a blank document. So all you need to do is to come over to insert here and go straight all the way to objects. You click on the drop down and you can see object and you can see text from a file. So you just select text from a file and then navigate directly to the file where you save those documents. So mine are in these docs and you can see the three of them: animation, hydraulic engineering, and river. Okay, so all you need to do is to select all of them and then you click on insert. Once you click on insert, it's going to bring in all of them into the same document. Mind you, the arrangement is going to be as you arrange them in the folder. If you want to change the arrangement, then you have to change the arrangement the way they are in the folder. Okay, so this is animation, this is hydraulic engineering, and then this is river, the last one. So very easily you can do all that, and then after you have it in one folder, you can easily come over here and save it. You can browse to a different document and you can maybe name it all, or you can go to the same folder and you can put all, and then you can save directly. You can save in Word, and you can easily convert it also to PDF or other formats that you want. Okay, very easily. So this is the easiest way to combine Microsoft documents into one document. So you can see it's already here. You can just click on it and it will open directly. In today's video, I want to share with you how to create a text around a circle. A circle text, something like this. So that it can appear much more professional. You can see the bottom one, it's quite readable, unlike before when you can have it upside down. It's quite difficult to read. So for this case, we have to we'll start by writing 2 lines of a text. So let's say we want to put in epic mentorship, and then we have another line, glaring your ideas. So have it in 2 lines separated. Okay, so to start with, you just select the first line, and then you can come to insert over here. You come to word art, and you select any type of word art that you want. Let's say we go with this. So you put in any kind of word art you want. You can change the word art style here if you want, but for this we'll go with this for this example. And over here you come to size. Okay, you make sure the vertical and horizontal size are the same. So let's say we go with 10 cm here horizontal, and at the vertical also we'll go with 10 cm. Okay, so the next thing is you select the text. You can come to text effect, because by highlighting you can see the format menu or the format tab already highlighted. So you can come over to text effect. Down here you come to the transform over here, and you can just select that one, and you can see it has started giving us the curve. Right, so the next is we come to the second line, we select it, we highlight it, right, and we do the same that we did for the first one. So you come to insert, you come to word art, and you put the same thing. Maybe probably you can drag it down a little bit. Okay, so you do the same. You can come to this and make the vertical 10 cm and make the horizontal 10 cm as well. So you come to the text effect, you come to transform, and you come to the vertical one, and you can see it very clearly. So let's come to align and align it to the center, and we will come to this one as well and align it to the center. So you can see now both cases are aligned at the center. So you can just drag this one closer, and you can bring this one also a little bit down, and it looks perfect. Okay, so epic mentorship, glaring your ideas. If you like, you can put some logo down here or there about to make it much more professional. In today's video, I want to share with you how to recover an unsaved document. Maybe you are working on your computer and it suddenly shut down, and you're working on Microsoft Word and you have typed some documents. Usually it saves it automatically even without your knowledge. So to recover any unsaved document in Microsoft Word, all you need to do is to come to the top menu here. You come to file. Okay, so you come to info. From here you come to manage document. Okay, so you click on manage document and come to recover unsaved document. So this is going to recover any document that you have not saved. So you click on this, and it's going to bring you over here to this doc1 and epic mentorship message. So you can just click on it and we say open, and this is going to bring back that document that you didn't save. Okay, so now you can save it as, you can just click on save as, and you can save it as a Word document. You can say my house. Okay, and just save it, and now it is saved. So automatically any document that you didn't save, if you mistakenly didn't save it and the computer shut down or suddenly shut down, or it went out of power, you can easily recover that particular document using the same method. Okay, so all you need to do is to follow the procedures explained herein. So this is just a bit about how to recover your document if you mistakenly fail to, or you forgot to save it. In today's video, I want to share with you how to resize a file in Microsoft Word, how to reduce the size of a Microsoft Word document. So for example, if we try to create a Word document, for example, we just right click and say new, and then we'll come to Microsoft Word document. At this point, you can see the size is 0 kilobyte. Maybe we try to add 1 or 2 pictures. So let's say we come to my pictures, and we take in these 2 pictures that are quite a bit heavy. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, these 3 pictures we just copy here, and then we come back to the Word document we just created. We just double click and we paste it. We paste the 3 of them. All right, so this is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the last one. So let us check the size as it is after saving this. Okay, so we can save this. Okay, now it's saved. So let's try to check the size. Okay, so we can see the size at the moment is about 1.9 megabyte. So we'll try to reduce it. So all you need to do is to come to the Microsoft Word document. You can click on any of the picture that you've selected. Let's say we click on this one, we double click on it, and it's brought in this ribbon, the format. So down here you can see a bunch of things that you can do. You can do cropping, you can play around with the sizing, the height and width, and you can do all sort of picture style from here. You can play around with all different kind of picture style, but for our own case, because we want to compress this Word document, all you need to do is to come to these compressed pictures. Okay, you can see compressed pictures over here. You just click on it, and you do 2 things over here. The first is you uncheck this apply only to this picture, because we want the changes to apply to all the pictures that are within this document without affecting much of the quality. So we have to uncheck this, and then you can come over here and select this. Check this email 96 ppi, minimize document size for sharing. Okay, so you select this and you say okay, and it brings out the effect on all the pictures. So for example, you double click on this, you can check the same compressed format. So you can see it applies the same issue, the same selection, because we've already selected it should apply the effect on all the pictures, not only on this existing picture. Okay, you can check the other one as well. You can check the compressibility. You can see everything is there, same. So let's try to save this and then consider the size after this a little bit change. Okay, so we save, and then we can come over and see the size. Okay, and you can see now it's been reduced greatly to about 167 kilobytes. So this is a great decrease in the size, and without actually tempering much in terms of the quality of the picture. The quality is still there, nearly intact, but look at the great decrease that we have seen. Okay, so this is just a bit on how to reduce the size of a Microsoft Word document, okay, that you have pictures in it. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert a screenshot of different kind of documents into your Microsoft Word, Excel and PowerPoint. If you look into the previous videos I've made about screen capture, you can see that I usually use the snipping tool to take in my screenshot, and once you just enable it, even though it has been greatly improved, you can just use the screen capture and you can just capture any point, and you can save it or you can copy it and paste it to anywhere you like. But in today's video, I want to share with you an inbuilt screen capture that comes in with Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Word and Excel. Okay, so let's try it and see how we can take screenshots of our documents. So for example, here we are on Microsoft Word. All you need to do to activate this feature, assuming I want to put in a screenshot of my PowerPoint slide, all I need to do is to come to insert, and you can see screenshot over here. So you can just click on screenshot and you see available screenshots that you have, but we don't have any. So we can come to screen clipping. So you just click and you can just navigate to the location where you want it to, even though now we didn't open any document. So let's try to escape this and try to open a given document before we open this. Okay, so let's say we want to take in this, but then we have to open our Word document, and we can just come to insert, and we'll come to screen capture, and we'll come to screen clipping, and you can see it will just bring us over here, and you can just take a screenshot of it directly. And once you take, you can see it inserted it for you into your Microsoft Word very easily, and you can easily do that at any given point. Just come to insert, come to screenshot, and you see it over here. And you can take another screen capture as far as you position it from any device. For example, here we can just go back to it and say take screen capture, and we can say screen clipping, and it will bring us to the immediate screen, and we can just take this screen capture and we can bring it in. And once we have our document screen captured, we can easily kind of play around with the content. We can rotate it to different style, and we can even crop it accordingly. Okay, so assuming we want to crop it, we just need to double click, and we can see the cropping icon over here because the format option is going to be enabled. And once you double click, you can click the cropping, and you can see this black bars, and you can just bring in and crop to the desired location. And once you are done, you can click out, and it's going to appear as your cropped image.